Hey folks, welcome to Thursday Night Throwdown, Giantbomb's live weekly multiplayer show. I'm Ryan Davis. We've got Brad Shoemaker and Patrick Klepek on the couch. Jeff Gershman in the back, fresh from his trip to Redmond. How you doing, Jeff? Making next generation sounds with your mouth.
That's right. These are all the sounds of the Xbox One. That's what it's called. What is it?
Was there actually ever any sense of like system sounds while you were messing around with stuff there?
No,
because you got to see some additional like controller
but none of it
demos.
was dashboard. The controller was hooked up to a PC, so
Okay.
it wasn't even real.
Right.
Wasn't even real.
None of that was real.
None of it was real. None of it even happened.
Oh, a dream. Well, it's good to have you back from Redmond and from that trek, from your week and a half here of solid travel here.
Yeah.
Kind of leading up to E3.
Well, like home just long enough to go, this is cool. Oh, God, I got to get out of here.
Wash some clothes.
Yeah.
Hit the road again.
Exactly. So, saw a lot of stuff. And then the embargo dates for all the stuff from the week before are happening here and there. They announced Dying Light this morning.
They did. That's the Techland WB published Zambi game.
Which I think...
One assumes the Techland A team, while like, I don't know, the C team was assigned to Riptide.
Yeah.
Because then there's also Call of Juarez Gunslinger, which I played about.
That's Techland?
I think so, right? They've done the other ones.
Yeah.
They have done Call of Juarez games. I don't know if they've done all of them.
They did all of them so far.
So I'm assuming Gunslinger, which I sort of wrote off, and then I played about 20 minutes. It seems pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, I was hearing other good talk about that game, and
really
what I saw
neat.
from you playing at your desk seemed at least a little bit clever.
Yeah.
Nice
So-
storytelling conceit.
Maybe, like, I wonder how that works with, like, when you're talking to Techland, like, which one are we going to get? Like, so, like,
They're all
different
crazy. Like, they're all crazy.
Sure.
Yeah,
just flip a coin.
Dying Light ended up being one of the coolest things I saw during that entire week.
Really?
So,
Because you didn't really like Dead Island that much, right?
no, and you know, this is still a zombie game, but the free running and the kind of the day-night cycle, like stealth at night, scavenge during the daytime, like good-looking foliage, like it looks really nice. So that could be a really cool game.
And this past week and a half, it seems, has also ruined you on current generation graphics.
I was playing a game that shall remain nameless.
Yes.
At this time, scant moments ago, and I believe what I said to Brad was, "This looks like shit."
Yeah.
Paraphrasing, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So with you now, with having seen the future ruined on the present,
a little bit.
you know, what better game
Not
to
that
play?
I saw that many. I spent most of that week looking at games that are for current systems, so it's not like.
So what better game to play than Star Trek Online?
Right.
The game that you'll be playing well into the future.
That's right. I can play this game for the rest of my life, and it will always look great because look at that spaceship.
Is that your ship?
That's my ship.
Is that the hegemony?
Yes. You change ships over the course of your life. And I got a couple of guys here. This is the one I played most with. This is one I played when it first came out. I created this dude and played a ton. And then when I reinstalled it not long ago, I didn't know what the hell to do. So I started another character and played some with that.
So we've just had a fair amount of Star Trek on the brain lately. We talked about various old Star Trek games with minimal knowledge
and movies
on this week's podcast. Yes, and also getting a lot of movie facts incorrect as well.
Mutilated the casts of several Star Trek movies.
Go Bears.
That's right. Go Bears.
Dilithium crystals.
Yep. That checks out.
Yeah.
Was Kim Cattrall really in 6?
Midichlorians.
Is that what it was?
Which one was 6?
The Undiscovered Country.
And that was the
Klingons. Klingons going ape shit about something.
Okay, yeah.
So where the Klingons are dying and
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys need
I
Star
like that
Trek
one.
plots recounted? Because I can do those for you. From memory.
Matt Rory's here, and he's got his personal computer.
Matt, Rory, give us
Hello.
the plot of Star Trek 4 in 30 seconds or less.
Star Trek 4
Everyone's
is
Star Trek 4. Star Trek 5 is.
Okay, yes, I want to hear about 5.
5 is the final universe. When I have to go to the center of the universe to defeat God.
Yeah.
Spock's brother comes back, also half Vulcan as well.
Yeah.
Good actor, bad character.
What does God need
and
with a
then
starship?
Uhura gets naked a little bit to distract some guards, and then they go to.
That's right. She uses her fan dance.
When she was like 55 too.
Yeah.
Michelle
Nichols.
Michelle Nichols, still looking pretty good in that movie. But they go to fight and defeat God, and God gets taken out with a photon torpedo. And then,
What?
His one weakness.
Yes, I swear to God.
And then there is,
What, like, can you guys watch this?
and then there is a Tupac
I
song
don't
that
think I've ever
that
seen that one.
samples
that
a
is
line
well
from
renowned as one of the worst Star Trek movies.
Yeah, I mean, it's widely
Wait,
hailed.
which
Nemesis is
line?
probably-
What is a Tupac song? The same? What? Are the,
I couldn't help but notice your pain. My pain?
Oh.
It runs deep. Share it with me. There's
Sampled Star Trek V?
there's a Tupac song that the start of it is that, and then it goes into the rest of the song. I think it is from his Machiavelli stage.
Yeah.
so-
Directed by William Shatner as well, which is one
Yep.
of the reasons that people.
But then
so they added Romulans to this game.
Recently, right?
that's not a
Relatively
Romulan
recently,
though.
yeah. Playable Romulans.
right, and there's this
We're
whole-
not there the last time I played it.
There's now an evil faction of, like, you can play as a Romulan, but there's like an evil faction of Romulans out there led by this Empress Sara character.
Okay.
What does God need with a starship?
I know zero about this new expansion other than something Romulans.
Oh, so that's what I'm
I
laying
didn't
out
have to
here.
pay attention because I knew I was going to be getting it as part of my lifetime subscription.
That's right.
So, like, why pay attention to any pre-release stuff? It will come. So I just
Romulans have the bird of prey. Is that their
Warbird.
warbird? There it is.
Klingons have the
Klingons
bird
have the
of prey. Yeah,
Klingons
that's a bird of prey.
Yeah.
Got it. Yes.
So I don't know.
what
I knew
that
there
is.
was I knew there was a bird in there somewhere.
Was that a Borg?
It's a liberated Borg Romulan.
What?
For buying lifetime subscription, I get liberated Borg as so. I mean, yeah, you can play as different species and stuff.
Why are the Romulans all different colors?
But even Klingon, you can play like as you are affiliated with the Klingon, but you are a liberated Borg Klingon, or a Nausicaan, or like there's other.
Oh, I see.
You're a Gorn, but
you
you're
play as
allied
Gorn.
with Klingon.
Well,
Oh, okay. So there's like racial and
Yeah.
then
I see.
like
Okay.
Yeah, so they treat it as a faction. Which
Faction stuff.
That seems a little weird to me.
A little
but,
bit.
So, Brad, what you're saying about
I figure if we're gonna play as
Romulans?
Romulan, we should play as Romulans.
Yeah.
They have like different. Wait, were those not different colored Romulans then?
No, these weren't Romulans.
At the top of the list.
What?
That
Top
guy.
of what
That
list?
guy. The one that you have your cursor over.
This is Alien. This is like make your own species.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, these are all different. This is the
Gotcha.
only Romulan.
Yes, that looks like
the
a
rest are not
Romulan.
Romulans, but they're all Romulans. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Got it.
All right. So let's be a Romulan tactical.
They're not
officer.
Romulans, but they're from the hood.
Yeah.
From around the way.
Yes.
So we got some outfit choices, I guess.
Is that also class stuff or
No. No, the class stuff is whether you want tactical or engineering or
Okay.
science.
Right.
Rustic, indeed. We can zoom out here and choose a stance, like brawler.
He looks like he's ready to brawl.
Swagger.
This is for me a great update, having not looked at Star Trek Online with any amount of focus
And
since
this
it
character,
launched.
this character creator is totally like they redid all the
Yeah,
graphics on it from last time.
All this stuff looks new.
Last time we looked at it was when we did the Cards Against Humanity TNT.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeff was playing on
Which
the couch.
and I wasn't looking at Star Trek at all during that. So
I think we only watched when like the ship was warp driving.
yes,
Something like that.
That beta series of videos we did was 2 offices ago.
yeah.
That was in Sausalito. It was a long time ago. I may not have. I don't know.
So Brad, you've broken one of the core tenets here, and you've brought food to the set.
I know.
So we've
thought
made
it-
it violent food.
Soaking.
I thought I would have time to eat it before this thing started.
So you came over here with a bag of salted almonds, and then
At a vending machine.
discovered that there was still this bottle of Tabasco sauce that you had
Left over
tucked
here from the Xbox stream.
behind the couch.
I forgot that it was here, and it's still
Why?
here. Because
He was putting that on his eggs.
I was eating it with hard-boiled eggs. That's an Alexis Gaisa tip to make
I
hard-boiled
mean,
eggs.
I like Tabasco on my eggs,
Yeah,
so
sure.
putting it on your hard boil, that
yeah, it's no big deal.
checks out. But then
then-
dumping a whole bunch of it into this
Yes.
little packet of salted almonds.
Violent food. I like that. I don't think this is gonna play.
Just take our word for it. It looks like he's
It's
swallowed.
like
Oh my
it's
God.
soaked.
It's like
That is not a canonical
It's like
Romulan
this
haircut. I
horrible
don't think.
tunnel of
That's why it's
green,
so perfect.
green tobacco. Wow.
But I'd say that in his
Dominatrix?
his hipster
If he was a Romulan?
scarf there.
What is the name of the Romulan secret society? The Black Talon or something like that? Their undercover.
Yes.
All right, somebody in the chat has to give that to me right now because that guy looks like he's trying to pass as an Earthling. The little
Hey guys,
I'm a human.
the Tal Shiar.
you guys know where I can get some
Yeah,
grass?
so
Thank you,
the
Matt Bacon.
Tal Shiar are like the evil to everyone
Yeah.
faction in Star Trek Online as
Oh,
well.
okay, okay.
So it's like you can be Romulan and affiliated with the Romulan Empire, but there's still
Bad
the
Romulans.
Tal Shiar to deal with, is my understanding.
Romulans always be hating on Romulans.
It's like how in World of Warcraft there are evil orcs that even the
Yeah.
orc players hate. I suppose.
Exactly.
So what defines?
I'm sure just about everything about this game you could boil down to like in World of Warcraft.
Remember when Troy was a Tal Shiar? What happened there? Remember that?
Yes, she
Like
was
Marina-
kidnapped by the Tal Shiar and forced to get surgery
That's
to
right.
be brought back
yeah,
to
she was surgically altered
Romulan.
to look Romulan.
TNG
Loose
was always
knee
about
high,
Romulans
definitely.
and Vulcans trying to make up. That's when they brought Spock back for that
Yeah.
two episodes.
Spock and his father.
what defines
Spock
a
and his
Romulan?
father.
They're kind of like space Romans. I mean, they
Space
straight
what?
up come from planets called Romulus and Remus. They never
Yeah.
quite explain why.
But also, isn't there like a racial connection?
Yes, they used to be. They split
yeah,
up
they're
from the same
Vulcans.
yeah,
Vulcans, yeah.
they were Vulcans. They were like the more.
Okay.
Vulcans went for the like passive,
Vulcans
logical,
became,
and,
yeah,
and
right.
Romans are more bloodthirsty and
Right.
but
Gotcha.
still devious.
All right, Brad, I want you to dump this salted almond packet into your
Wait,
mouth.
the whole thing?
No,
I don't, think,
but I
I don't
mean-
think I can even fit them all in there. I just
No,
had
no.
some actually.
Oh,
But I snuck a few.
I was thinking about the obsidian order. That's true.
All right, I hit the random button and got Purius for a captain name and Inceptorus as my ship name.
That's pretty good.
that sounds very Romulan.
What's your
X
These are
biography?
great.
boy band.
Is this working?
This might be the best almonds I ever had.
X boy band. That's all I got. All right, engage.
It just looks horrific.
Does every button that says go actually say engage? Because that would be good.
Many of them do.
Yes.
Launching the game definitely says engage.
Now this UI, I believe someone was saying it changed to look more El Cars-ish.
I was gonna say.
Can we get some audio?
Our home, our lives, all that we were. Dust. Blasted across empty, heartless skies.
Wait a minute.
But we live.
So are
Our
we
legacy
treating
lives within every ship we
Star
fly,
Trek, or treating
Upon
J.J.
every
Abrams'
world
Star
we
Trek as
touch.
canon here?
in our hearts?
I guess so.
I
How do you
forget
mean
how this when this thing
yours?
launched. Like that, yes, it was
There will
something
be challenge. You will know fear, but you will overcome.
where it was kind of partially playing
You
off of
will
that stuff.
survive.
That seems like something an MMO would do,
Blood.
right?
Sure.
Just incorporate events
You
from the
will
most
do
recent movie.
as you must. Rule cannot be handed to the faithless. Our legacy cannot be
Quan Chi.
lost to villains. Bury the past
So sleepy.
to face the future.
Which I guess makes sense
Enemies
because the destruction
find
of
allies.
Romulus in the Star Trek
There is
movie
no price we
happens
have
in the
not
main
paid.
timeline
No loss we have
in the
not
future.
felt.
Because it's not until
All right.
Our
they get
suffering.
thrown to the
These are
wormhole or
not
whatever that.
guess so.
We are not
Oh,
ended.
yeah. I don't know.
Well, that happens
Well,
here.
the Vulcan homeworld happens in the
The alternate
J.J.
timeline.
Abrams alternate timeline.
We must
so
face
original
all
timeline.
doubt.
But original
Break the
timeline,
strong
like,
who
way
destroy
later.
us.
but yes, but that does happen
Overcome the
in.
impossible. We must
If
overcome
you go by the events of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie, the destruction of Romulus happens in the main
Or maybe it's
timeline.
more accurate to say it is going to happen. It happens in the future of that timeline.
Right, which is itself post Next Generation,
Yes.
which is basically where, my
Theoretically,
understanding
it
is
could
where
be
Star
many-
Trek Online
Yeah.
Many years in the
inhabits.
future.
So, all right.
The young
That's not
son
as, I guess,
have a variety of
preposterous.
stories to know what our people
Yeah,
were like
I guess so.
All things considered.
Strong, secretive, warlike.
But that also means that Spock is not in
We
this
were powerful.
in this universe right now
Then,
because he gets.
he left.
Spock does all the tutorial voices and stuff. It's all
22 years ago.
But I'm saying he gets hurled through that wormhole pretty much right after Romulus. Like as Romulus explodes, he gets thrown into the wormhole. That
I don't know that this subscribes to that
No one
exactly
timeline
predicted
exactly.
what would happen, and no one could have
I'm
stopped.
saying this seems like this is something that they just introduced with the
Right,
Romulans
right.
being in here. So
Those who survived
maybe.
were
I'm sure
scattered
you won't
across
talk to
deserts
Spock
and
as a
worlds.
Romulan.
Sure.
One day we were citizens of one of the greatest powers of the galaxy, and the next we were just trying to survive.
Iran's a real B team when it comes to
Every
Star
day
Trek
was a
villains,
struggle.
right?
They,
They weren't part
they
of the
got
militant
pretty,
and oppressive
they're,
Tal
especially in
Shiar.
Deep Space Nine. They were
Ruling
pretty heavily
They were
involved.
pretty.
in
They were
Deep
pretty
Space
big in Next Generation too, because
Yeah.
they had that kind of
Oh, that's
uneasy.
right.
They had that uneasy truce with the Klingons all through Next Generation. The Klingons were not really the bad guys.
You've got
Right.
Denise Crosby in this
Others' throats.
as Romulan.
Wait, are you serious?
Romulan lady Denise Crosby.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The tall Shiar.
Denise Crosby hailed for her rich career in voice
Pet
work.
Cemetery.
Help in his service.
Also, good performance by her. Playboy, she was in Playboy.
Yep.
We put down roots.
Really, you have to know your chops in voice acting to be
Today
a
we'll
Playboy.
celebrate what we've
It's really
created.
the top thing.
Hard work and some good fortune. True
I highly
Romulans
recommend
will once
this.
again rise to be a power in the galaxy. The first step on that path begins here.
Now put the Tabasco on your apple.
Really?
Gotta find the thing that Brad doesn't like Tabasco on.
That Tabasco or this Tabasco?
Not the bag Tabasco.
Oh, this is gonna be all extra salty.
Yeah, cut off some pieces of apple, put that in the bag.
Dip it into the
shake
bag.
up.
What if I just like dump it on the apple?
So who has seen the new Star Trek movie?
I have not.
I have.
Spoilers?
Don't talk about it.
Okay.
Who's good?
I'm gonna see it this weekend. My fiance is out of town, so
Bachelorette party, I hear.
yep, she's off on her bachelorette party.
to
Part-
Vegas?
to parts unknown.
Oh, you don't even know?
Not exactly. She didn't know.
Oh,
She kept asking me if I knew, and I said I don't know, and even if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
good. Can't track her down.
Really worked up.
All right, now this is officially a bad idea.
Must have been- It's not
That's when you
I thought it was
know.
officially a bad idea before, but it happened to work out.
Almonds worked out. I don't know, actually, this is.
to interact with a console.
If you liked J.J. Abrams' first Star Trek movie, you will like J.J. Abrams'
I
second
like this
Star
one
Trek
less
movie.
than the first one, but
I can
still,
see why.
Still enjoyed it.
But my perspective on it is like I have
Pellets are in the vineyard,
no knowledge of Star Trek, so like a lot of like, you know,
I'm not gonna-
stuff.
oh yeah.
Brad, you're nodding way too much at Tabasco on Apple.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a good question from Gun Cannon D. Can you go to warp 10 in Star Trek Online? Are there even warp speeds in this?
It's not possible. Defies the laws of physics.
No, they
In
do
the
that before,
original
though.
series, they could go up to like warp 14, but they refactored it all for TNG, where it's a asymptotic scale,
Yes,
where warp
yes, you could-
9.95 is
Yeah,
like.
according to Next Generation, you could infinitely approach warp 10 without, but never actually reach
It's
it.
like, kind of like the speed of light in the real universe.
Yeah, yeah.
An arrow will appear on the minimap
Yeah.
if you are far away from your
So warp
Rory.
10 just does not exist. It
Matt
is
Rory
it
knows
is
his
a
Star Trek.
It is a theoretical number.
Theoretical. It's who's that traveler guy who pushed the? You can theoretically go pretty fast, but then you're talking about.
Your
Yeah.
plasma beam pistol has been automatically equipped.
I read the Star Trek
Drop
technical manual.
knowledge about Star Trek, man. I love talking like weird Star Trek minutia.
Samurai Garen
So
is
much more so than I do like Star Wars minutia.
Oh yeah. Well, Star Trek has a pretty good track record of trying to keep things consistent, at least. Even if
They
it's all
take their
sci-fi.
fake science really
Yeah, they
seriously.
do.
And I appreciate that.
So apparently there is people are reminding me about transwarp that the Borg used. So there is a way to get past warp 10, but it's
And
a different kind of
transwarp is
technology.
in this game. That's
That
how
was-
you like if you want to hearth back to your space station.
That was
you hit
that was all way after Roddenberry died, though, and they started playing a lot
Yeah.
more fast and loose with everything.
And transwarp shows up in the new movies as well in a weird way, but that's what Scotty's famous for in the first Star Trek movies, a transwarp teleportation where he just shows up. Hey, I'm on Earth
right.
now. I can be over here across the galaxy. Kind of a cheaty way of getting around some story problems, but
I mean, that's the thing about the new Star Trek movie, like both of them, honestly. I having not seen the second, having not seen Into Darkness, I don't take my.
yeah.
I'm not that precious about the Star Trek stuff, so if they want to play fast and loose with some of the rules of it for the sake of making a more actiony, entertaining movie, that's fine. Like honestly, I am showing up at this point for the J.J. Abrams as much as I am for the Star Trek.
White Lando wants to know if there's any other character in the history of all media more defined by their facial hair than Riker. That's a good question.
He didn't always have it.
He didn't always have it,
but
it's
that's
pretty.
the thing, though. Once he did,
It's
it
pre-
defined-
Magnum
post.
PI.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Selleck as a whole.
Yeah, you're
Like
right.
that's a character that literally doesn't exist without a mustache. Like there is a Riker without beard.
Yeah.
He's clearly not as much
Yes,
Riker.
yes, he is a lesser form of Riker, but he's still Riker.
He had not yet reached his final form.
And forget Magnum
Hulk Hogan
PI,
as
just
well.
like Tom Selleck in
Somebody
general,
said.
you can't look at him without a mustache.
No, it freaks me out when
I
he
know,
doesn't
I
wear a
know,
mustache.
it's not pleasant.
Mariachi Macabre says Blackbeard. That
Also,
makes sense. Yeah.
little known fact, Tom Selleck can regenerate his mustache at will.
You just go.
Yep.
He just pushes it out.
Just
through
fully,
his pores.
fully formed. I just hope the J.J. Abrams Star Trek doesn't include the possibility of like actual Star Trek coming back at some point.
The TV show, you mean?
Yeah. Or not just that, but just being like actual,
the
the
main
kinda,
timeline stuff.
Well, no, the more just kind of sedate, contemplative sort of thing that.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Michael Dorn was talking a little bit there they were talking about doing a Captain Worf series for a while.
Huh.
Then also Riker and Troy, they were joking around about doing a married couple kind of show where they were both on the same ship. But
weird.
I wouldn't mind seeing Captain Troy. I would also could go with a Captain Sulu show as well, if maybe with a John Cho or something like that. If you have to do something in the new timeline.
So that's the thing is, I think even if you do a new show and you try and abide a little more by the tenets of old Star Trek, I think any of the cast members of the either original series or next gen are just a little too old.
Yeah.
To put as primaries.
Obviously.
But if you do okay, we're gonna set it in this new Star Trek timeline.
Yeah. You can use them to bridge the gap.
Yeah,
right?
of okay, this is a Star Trek that people of today recognize.
It's kind of the DeForest Kelly cameo in Encounter at Farpoint kind of thing.
Enterprise Season 5. Just bring it back.
No, thank you.
Did not care for, honestly,
no Scott Bakula.
haven't really cared for anything past Deep Space Nine.
But just a widescreen Star Trek TV show.
Yeah.
This is Star Trek Online, huh?
Nice. Good modern production values, but I mean, it really is the writing that matters more than anything.
You know what I want to say? I feel is the.
Why do I not have a gun anymore?
What happened to your gun?
I don't know.
Did that bug take it?
You're punching that bug.
No, yeah, I was punching that bug. I went to go pick up a pistol, and now I'm...
Somehow you dropped it?
It auto-equipped, but now it's not, it's not there.
It's in your inventory here.
Nothing. Nothing is in my inventory.
Huh. Oh my.
I didn't scroll to a different...
So all of your actions down there on your bar, that's just all punching.
Yeah, punch, other punch, palm strike.
Well, Matthew, if anyone in the chat has any...
I'm getting a lot of questions, so I can start...
well, if they have any advice as for why Jeff doesn't have a gun anymore.
Oh, if anyone has any advice for why...
There might
Jeff
have been
doesn't
something
a
where
gun.
he said, don't use a gun in my vineyards. I don't know.
Okay.
The flooding has stopped.
This looks a little better than I remember.
Z swaps
looking.
weapons if you have them.
Oh, that might have been...
Good idea.
You might have hit Z by accident.
Yeah, I did.
There you go. Thank you to everybody.
Thanks,
Oh,
chat.
my.
Star Trek The Animated Series, I think, is a wildly underrated Star Trek show.
Somebody was asking about that. I've never actually seen.
Yeah, I've never
It's
seen
on-
it.
it's
I haven't
on-
seen a lot of it.
It's on Netflix Instant, and it's all voiced by original
Right.
cast members. It was
Yeah.
produced right around the time
They used
that
to show it on Nickelodeon.
the show. Yeah,
I
they
do.
did.
They
It
did.
was a good weird they'd show it on Sunday mornings or something alongside Johnny Quest. It was of that era and of that quality of it's almost like C-Lab.
So it's
in a way.
kind of the adventure genre.
To drop items.
Yeah, where it's
Sorta.
here's a weirdly serious cartoon.
Yeah.
The upside
Really?
being that because it's animated, they could have there's a actual alien on the crew in animated series, so they could have him be all fantastical looking without having to resort to crappy prosthetics.
I kind of want to see that.
All original cast doing voice work for it. It's pretty good. There's some good stories in there.
An item has dropped for you. Move towards the item and press F to loot it.
I have engaged shooter mode.
All right.
Flank.
It's like you're playing Gears of War.
Flank.
Or
Flank.
Defiance.
That's right. The next generation is now, Jeff.
Favorite Star Trek character, not including Riker or any of the captains. That's what Overbite wants to know.
Jeez, I don't know.
Q's alright.
Yeah, Q's pretty good.
Q is controversial in the chat. A lot of people are saying he's really annoying.
Like Quark.
Yeah,
Quark's pretty good.
okay.
I always like the the Cardassian on Deep Space Nine. What's his name?
Gold Dukat.
No, the shopkeeper.
Wait.
The shopkeeper spy, Grok.
Oh no.
Gorek. Grok. I'm being told Grok. Grok and Odo, really good pair of people.
I always felt like the Ferengi.
There's fungus on the metal, you guys.
That's what she said.
We gotta go in the cave.
He has a tail.
Like the Ferengi were just like, you know, scheming Weasley rat people when they were first introduced on Next Gen.
TNG was Ferengis were they had those whips, those phaser whips, and they were just basically
They were conceived to be like the kind of menacing, intimidating new enemy.
Right.
They were supposed to fill like the Klingon role, and then
they just came off as so Weasley and shitty.
Well, they also got a lot of commentary that people thought they were like a Jewish caricature, so they got a lot of flack for that when they first came out. And even considering the Deep Space Nine,
there's a lot of traitors, and they're you know,
a lot of people who they're just very avaricious and stuff like that. It was a lot of justified criticism of that stereotype. So.
But at a certain point, that's like how much you bring to that. If you like are identifying like that's a Jewish stereotype. It's like, well, only if you think it is, right?
It's.
I mean, they're space people, so they're not Jewish at all.
But then again, the original Star Trek series has a lot of overlaps with Klingons as Russians and things like that. So
sure.
I'm not sure that I like this like depiction of Romulans as like having stuff to do other than fucking up Federation stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta go in this cave and we gotta save these vineyards. Like, no, I want to just be doing something devious in space.
Does this feel like, so this is the Romulan exclusive starting area? Does this feel like it was made for Romulans, or is this kind of...
I think this is all new. I mean, I don't think this is repurposed other stuff.
Okay.
At least I have not seen this tile set anywhere else. Disable strange machine.
But you're saying this does not feel true to the Romulan experience as you know it, or as you anticipate it.
I don't necessarily think that I want a Romulan experience other than blowing up Romulans.
A lot of questions asking you if this is actually fun to play.
It's an MMO. It plays like MMOs play. You know.
That's why I don't play them.
If you're into that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely enjoyed playing, especially after the changes they made to make it a little more actiony. Yeah. I think that does help. But, they're not turning it into a proper third-person shooter or anything like that. Like, you still have to kind of...
It's still dice rolls, right?
It seems like it, yeah.
Weird drone things? That is trouble. I took a look at those biological samples while you were gone.
I don't want to know about biological samples.
Also, I feel like, unless you're humans, you should have much more florid speech patterns.
Yeah.
Like that...
Hey, what's up? I'm a Romulan.
Piece of dialogue there sounded just
you want to go to the
human.
mall?
Your level up animation looks like it was like you're getting half transported there for a second.
That is what it is for everything.
Oh, they're replacing your body with a clone of yourself, just a little more experience or something?
What up, D-Vex?
With an old space hound like me. I have an idea of what this might be.
So I'm tactical, so I can't say anything about like I want to do something smart. It says like I want to bust this up.
How if I come and crap things up for you?
Good idea. You could crap it up. That'd be good. Here, use my machine to fuck things up. On it.
So that's all stuff you chose at the outset. That's not like
that's
skill
your character
points
class.
that you're putting
like
in.
Your,
okay.
Do you want to be like the class that's laying down turrets, or do you want to be the kind of warrior tank equivalent?
Right.
Or, hey, I went over and pushed F near that machine. I'm going to come over here and push F near you now.
We didn't know what to believe. That's what my commander believed. We stayed in orbit for a few days. That's right. He's the man in charge, so...
Any guys play Neverwinter? Any comparisons between this and that?
Haven't played it.
I haven't touched it.
I've tried about a few hours of it. It's all right. Seems fun so far. I hear there's a lot of exploits going on though, with the economy and stuff.
Beta, right?
Beta, but you can still spend money on it. So,
so is that an MMO or is that a more Guild Wars?
Pretty sure it's. I haven't grouped with anybody yet. It's mostly seems like they're phased instances, but you can still run around with a lot of people. So,
I've been continuing to play Marvel Heroes. Even though it's closed beta.
Yeah, we were talking about doing that for today, but I kind of want to save that for when it opens up a little more.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a quick look next week or something, since I think it starts, like, early access for the full real game starts.
Contact Tovan Kev
All right, I need to.
So I actually want to play
right,
that game after what you showed on.
Yeah, I've been enjoying that.
On Professional Fridays.
And Ultima Forever is out now. Speaking of free-to-play action RPGs, but only in Canada.
Okay, I was gonna say.
All right,
How have we not heard?
Quick spoof of Canadian IP, and let's do this.
You just have to. I mean, since it's free, you can just sign up for a Canadian store account and get it. But then you have to have 2 store accounts, and managing those on one device would probably be kind of weird.
Just look at how much we can accomplish without being ruled by the Tal Shiar. Word is, someone named Datan is trying to fight them.
Datan, eh?
Me?
Here's exposition for you to read.
Let's go enjoy the festival.
Yeah, let's go enjoy the festival. There's this evil stuff going on. I don't know, these weird bugs, and you broke down those compounds, but let's go to the festival.
Let's get drunk.
Let's get ripped. They should have faction-specific loading screens. Because looking at this Elcar stuff here makes me want to quit out of this character.
It really throws you off.
Oh, well, there you go.
Maybe you should
we got our wish, maybe.
Maybe you should play your other character.
All right, well, you need to now cut away from everything.
What are the crew's thoughts on the new Daft Punk album from Satu? The new Daft Punk album. Have you guys heard it?
Random Access Memories. I gave it my first listen yesterday.
Pretty mellow.
It is. It is. It's. I mean, I knew going in that it was going to sound completely different from anything they had done before. I mean, the Get Lucky, that first single off of it, is a pretty distinct departure. Also, a fantastic song. Also, I think so far the song that I've liked the most off of what I've listened to. But I think I've only given it one solid listen through so far.
I don't think it. I think it's a little disjointed and I don't necessarily like. There are a lot of songs I like on it, and I pretty much like the whole thing. But each track for slightly different reasons. And there's about half of it I would want to listen to when I'm in one mood, and half in another. And those songs almost alternate.
It definitely does not like flow as an album particularly well.
Have you guys heard they're remixing it themselves to make it sound like more like the old Daft Punk? They are actually going to do that.
Really?
Oh, really? They're remix their own album.
That's cool.
We have overcome every difficulty.
If you could name any other old TV show and make it into an MMO, which one would you choose? That's a good question.
Get Smart.
What was that?
Get Smart.
And now we celebrate.
Spy stuff.
I'm trying to think.
Hey, Sony tried to do it.
Yeah.
They canned that game with the agency, right?
Yeah.
The idea of a spy
and that was in development
cool
for so long.
Yeah, it was.
I saw that at many E3s.
Yep. They spent a lot of time making that game.
They look cool.
Hey, we went to the festival. It's fireworks.
Some nice looking fireworks.
That effect exists in the game already.
Nice.
Because it's one of the...
Oh, Tal Shiar!
Oh, jeez.
They're just parking their ship in atmosphere.
He looks pretty concerned.
Your ramen has the worst haircut. I'm sorry. So not good.
After that, we stop whoever or whatever is attacking our home.
I mean, I've got a starship captain, a Federation captain with basically as a faux hawk.
The existing or the standard Romulan haircut.
The very sharp looking Widow's Peak kind of thing.
Yeah, your hard points on the on your Widow's Peak and on your sideburns.
Those
like I would have assumed that that's just like Romulan hair would just naturally grow in that sort of a pattern.
Yeah.
That would be my assumption. That's not like specific, whatever cultural, religious hairstylings.
Open your inventory.
What are you doing now, Jeff?
I'm equipping a rifle.
Nice.
And I'm going to go take it to the Tal Shiar.
Well, you know what you should do first?
What?
Dance.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Unknown command dance.
I'm sorry, what? Is it slash dance?
That's what I typed, but
is there emotes?
Do I have to...
There might be an emote menu.
Yeah, I think there is. I just don't know where it is.
Or was it like a right click on the...
It's /EM dance.
Oh.
You have to type in the /emotes command.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there it is. There's a lot of different dances here.
Do the robot.
Dance basic.
Oh my god. Robot! Robot! You are taking the matter very seriously.
What is that guy doing?
He's picking up a rifle and hanging out and watching me dance.
The irony is that, no robot in the Star Trek universe moves like that.
How about we raise the roof for a while?
You spin the camera around? There you go. Oh, man.
Oh.
So yeah, it's an MMO, so I can't really swipe the gun around stuff.
I was just saying, you just dump it in the air there. I think those guys are evil.
Oh yeah, they are. Look at that.
That's right, there's flanking and stuff, trying to make it a little more tactical.
Yeah, there's like the concept of like exposing an enemy by hitting them with something, and then once they're exposed, you can hit them with different stuff. And it was a little complicated when the game first came out.
Well, that stuff is usually, they do a lot of that in Guild Wars 2, if I recall. They, status effects and things like that.
Yeah.
Forcing you to use a party to get the most out of combat.
Right.
Theoretically, it's a good way of going about it, but it always makes me feel like if I'm soloing, I'm inefficient in ways.
Right, like you have to have one of every power.
Current poll in the chat is dudes with short-sleeved shirts. Just finished yes 170, no 86. Oh, a little surprised.
Hey, if you got the arms for it, why not?
I'm saying when it comes to, if we're talking in the context of Star Trek specifically, I don't ever want to see short sleeves.
No. Yeah, I guess you're right. You really don't see a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Going back to the first season of TNG is really tough because of those onesies they all wear. Like, I much prefer
it's really the collars for me, or the lack thereof.
Yeah.
So that ended up being one of my favorite things about this game, is playing like Starship Captain dress up, and there's so many different cosmetic options, especially since they went free to play. Like you can get like, here's the outfit from the movie, here's the outfit from this, and then mix and match the parts. It's actually something I wish Marvel Heroes did.
We have to go do that now.
Was a little more cosmetic.
At some point before this is over, we have to go mess with uniforms.
I wonder what it is about sci-fi that like jumpsuits are the future for so many costume designers. It's always jumpsuits.
They're efficient. They're probably comfortable.
Everybody in Star Trek is in really good shape too.
Do you think they have to earn it in the future, or that's just like a natural?
They've got stuff.
Well, keep in mind, you're also all you're seeing are the top military personnel.
Yeah, but do you see fat people in Star Trek ever?
Sure. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
There are portly people. On TNG, at least.
Are they choosing to be portly?
They might also be aliens too. They're not a lot of Starfleet.
That's what it said in one of the novels that I read.
But again, it's.
I can't believe I admitted that.
It's your Federation officers and then other military types for the most part. Like,
sure, they're going to be fit.
They're going to be fit.
They're out there in the holodeck.
The thing
playing space squash.
Right. The thing I read in one of the books back 20 years ago, just to be fair.
Was this a TNG book?
Yeah. Was that said that remaining fit in the 24th century was quite easy, but many admirals chose to maintain some heft about them as a sign of authority.
It's like in impoverished districts where being portly is a sign of wealth.
Exactly.
Kinda,
you have the luxury.
Yes.
Yep.
Shatner wrote a bunch of books, right?
Tech War.
He wrote a bunch of Star Trek stuff
I know Tech War is his thing.
With in air quotes, he had a writing team of ghostwriters who he would go chat with and give them ideas, and they would basically write all these books for him, and they would put it out under his name.
Well, that's not.
Is that even for Tech War?
Yeah, Tech War had a staff of writers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's not as bad as like V.C. Andrews, who died 20 years ago, and there's still books coming out.
Oh yeah, like all of his Star Trek novel credits here are William Shatner, and then also Judith Reeves,
with
Stevens, and Garfield Reeves Stevens.
Garfield wrote those books?
Yep.
Apparently there was a Tech War game in the building.
Yeah,
Yes.
Totally was. I played that game.
It's
Jeff and I have played that game and broke it. within, I'd say, the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was basically broken.
I don't think I played the full game.
Like the
but
train
I played,
never
like, the
came
demo.
or something. It was just
No, we
like,
got into the train, and then like the train left, but we clipped through the train, and then we were stuck on the track.
So you got a spaceship. Wow, this is a complicated UI here.
This looks like EVE Online.
This looks fairly reminiscent of how it was when it launched, right?
Yeah, more or less. This is so we've got this guy as part of our crew now. We can change his name and stuff if we want. So I can, come up to full impulse. I can hold down both mouse buttons and just kind of directly steer stuff. But we want to go scan these derelict ships. Actually, I guess this is full impulse, isn't it? That's a little bit faster even.
Scanning.
Nicely. We just need a little more.
Why is it so fun to scan stuff in a video game?
I don't know.
Use W and S to move up or down.
I mean, it's the same as like,
A and D to turn left or right.
Any MMO where it's like, I have this object, I don't know what it is. I need to, investigate it to figure out what it is.
I need to watch this progress bar fill up until it says what the name is.
But it's way more satisfying when it's scanning.
Yep.
Of an enemy to attack it.
I can go full stop, I can hit full impulse, but then there's another mode that is like faster. Oh well. It's been a while. But I can direct stuff to shields, move shields around like it was X-Wing. Like if my shields are low, I can put more shields in the rear, stuff like that.
I remember that from... Does it still have that weird, goofy, like warp view of the universe?
Yeah. Oops, I cloaked.
Full impulse isn't unlocked yet in the tutorial. You'll get it eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that big galaxy map being super confusing in the beta. I don't know if they cleaned that up any.
Oh man.
That's neutronium.
Captain's log, William Shatner's personal account of the making of Star Trek V, The Final Frontier.
Wow. Oh my god. Is that a new thing or is that an old thing?
No, by Elizabeth Shatner and William Shatner, July 1st, 1989.
Wow.
When did that movie come out? That movie was like 80. It was 89, wasn't it? Yeah.
Tech War. God, Tech War.
Yep. Build engine.
Just the whole. I'm not even the game. I'm looking at like all these Tech War novels, and
back before it was UPN, they did that weird thing where they did like 20 movies or a movie every weekend, and there were a bunch of Tech War movies too.
Weird.
Made-for-TV movies. Shatner, yeah. Shatner's a sci-fi entrepreneur.
Right, like that was his whole attempt at like making a sci-fi property that he could own.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Premise: the 23rd century universe is centered around tech, an illegal, addictive, mind-altering digital drug in the form of a microchip. The drug has the effect of simulated reality, as shown in the films and series, and taps into the Matrix hyperspace.
How many buzzwords from other franchises can we throw in this?
But he's ahead of the curve here. Like the original Tech War was 1989.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see here. The protagonist, Jake Cardigan.
A former singer of the Cardigans.
Yes. Jake and the Cardigans, as they were originally called, and they shortened it up. A former police officer who was framed for dealing in the drug 4 years before the start of the story, having been sentenced to 15 years cryo imprisonment. He is released early after discovering that Walt Bascom, the powerful head of a private security firm, arranged for the early release. Jake goes to work for Bascom as an investigator dedicated to tracking down the real tech lords.
Tech lords?
Cryo imprisonment doesn't seem that bad.
I was going to say,
what is you don't learn, like part of the reason like incarceration happens is that you have to serve your time. Like,
right.
I mean,
it seems to defeat the purpose. Like, you just wake up, like, whoops, I guess I'll just go to sleep for 20 years.
That's the thing. The punitive aspect of being in jail is to make you sit there and
That's why Simon Phoenix, when he got out, he was super crazy. He
was supposed to be wasting a bunch of years of your life, but...
There we go.
Remember, they were also reprogramming them when they were in cryo imprisonment in...
oh, that's right. You're right.
In Demolition Man, so... The idea was that there would be behavioral modification happening
I
during
can buy that.
during cryo imprisonment.
I have to say this ship is kind of
So
adorable.
you're saying that Demolition Man has more believable cryo imprisonment standards than Tech War?
Sure. Yeah, I'm willing to go on record.
This ship is
yeah,
adorable.
there was.
It's not threatening at all. It's just kind of cute.
There were 9 novels.
Oh my god, that many.
All of them with a different. They're just all 2-word names, with one of them being tech.
Okay.
So, the nine novels in the Tech War universe. There's Tech War, Tech Lords, Tech Lab, Tech Vengeance, Tech Secret, Tech Power,
Wait.
Tech Money, Tech Kill, and Tech Net.
Tech kill.
Tech Vengeance?
I really like Tech Secret.
After Tech Lab, they become 2 words.
It's
Tech War, Tech Lords, and Tech Lab are all camel cased, 1 word.
Is Tech Secret like some kind of digital popcorn?
It sounds like some kind of deodorant.
Annie Potts is way into it.
It's a program for positive thinking and harnessing that for power, money, fame, and kill.
Are there any, so, I'm assuming the ships in this game, you have to be Romulan or Klingon to have a cloaking device.
I believe you can fit cloaking devices on your Federation ship.
That's non-canonical.
Oh, I mean, they've done it.
It's true, there was a Phoenix, what was the treaty? A treaty of, something.
Oh god.
Treaty of what?
Really disappointed in myself that I can't remember the name of that.
Treaty of Kittimer Accord? Is that the
I don't think it was the Kittimer Accord.
The End of the Defiant does, of course, get the cloak. But they had to have a Romulan there to operate.
I fucking have to know this
The
now.
chat will tell me what the treaty is that had the cloaking device between the...
I think the Kittimer Accord was something else.
That might have been the Star Trek 6 thing that they were doing.
Beam these colonists aboard.
It was the Treaty of something.
Somebody Google that. I haven't seen anything
That
from the chat
prevented the
yet.
Federation from having cloaks?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a
remember
treaty
that?
with the Romulans, I believe.
That was a huge
plot point.
A huge facet of
Yeah, it wasn't that the Federation didn't have cloaking technology.
No, they totally did. They
Treaty of Algernon
yes,
from
I was
My
gonna say that.
Hedges. There
I
we
was
go.
going to say that, but I kept thinking about flowers for Algernon, and then I was like, that can't be it.
Oh my god.
Because remember that episode of Next Generation, the Pegasus?
Yeah,
where they
the one,
developed
with what's his name? Who's the admiral in that show?
I know. Who was that admiral? I can't
That
remember
was
the actor.
Everybody loves him.
Character actor name. Where they developed that cloak. It wasn't just like an optical cloak. It was a
Terry O'Quinn was the admiral in that from Lost.
Yes.
Now you got my attention.
Remember they developed a metaphasic cloak that would let them go through solid matter?
That was a Phoenix one. Because that's where they found the Phoenix inside the
Pegasus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Phoenix. Yeah.
What are the drugs in the Star Trek universe? Are there Star Trek drugs?
Well, I mean, there's Romulan ale.
Though there are plenty of
weird,
There's the
though.
crazy glasses that you can
But
wear and
Romulan
get
ale
addicted
is
to the game.
illegal
Yes,
because
there's the
it is
game.
so potent.
There's the game.
The game?
The
There's
game.
the game.
There's the
You
game.
get addicted to the
Acid
game.
Jug.
What's the game?
And then
That's
it's just an episode of...
yeah, it is a fucking video game in Next Generation that all it really is doing is fucking hitting pleasure centers in your brain so hard that people just become horribly addicted to it.
They can't stop playing
the people
the game.
the people that control the game then use that to control the people that are hooked on the game.
No, they just want the chip, and they're just going to kill everybody in Enterprise. But then Wesley Crusher saved the day by waking up Data.
Can we get the
Spoilers.
big knob down just a hair? Thank you. Oh, the big knob. So useful.
I'm not supposed to hear myself beaming aboard these colonists.
Oh man, yeah, Tech War developed by Capstone Software.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is there any teleportation from in ship combat or anything like that in this game? Any kind of FTL teleporting, or is that just?
Yeah, sort of. You can have a crew ability. You don't go over to the other ship,
Yeah.
but you have this crew meter down here, and that kind of dictates your whole repair and stuff like that. But one of the abilities is you expend some of your crew, and the theory is you're beaming them over there to disrupt enemy systems.
Huh.
William Shatner's Tech War, released in 1995, based on the Build engine.
Capstone.
A lot of people saying some good stuff about that game in the chat.
What? About the
people-
Tech War game?
Yeah.
They're wrong.
Okay.
They could not be more wrong.
Didn't
When did
Capstone
you
put out
play
the
it?
Wayne's World game?
I'd say 2001.
There was a Wayne's World game.
Yeah, for the
No,
NES
no,
there was one.
like late 90s. I'd say 99.
Okay.
There was an
So you
NES
went
Wayne's
back
World game
to-
that had like
or it
weird
came out
digi
in
art.
99.
Oh, it came out in 95. I think Jeff had a room in his house at the time that was just piles of game garbage. And it was, there was kind of strata of stuff, and it was easy to just stick your hand into this pile and pull out something ridiculous.
You pulled out tech.
We spent a day one time just actually cleaning out and sorting that room, and we found like 3 Amigas.
Yeah, I still have all those Amigas.
That's the name of my upcoming video game web show, by the way.
3 Amigas?
Game garbage.
You're,
Anybody?
3 Amigas?
That's a good joke.
Thank you. I was trying to find the rest of the joke, but whatever. 3 Amigas.
We should totally chronicle our game garbage, though.
Oh wow, that's totally a bird, not a bird of prey. What do they call those?
Warbird?
Warbirds.
Yeah, those are Romulan Warbird.
All right, one more piece of Tech War fact before I retire this topic here. Shatner began to write notes that would become the novels on the set of Star Trek V: The Final Frontier, and is quoted to have said that the original book was an attempt to blend elements from Star Trek and T.J. Hooker.
Nice. Yes.
Shatner just being as Shatner as he could. He's like, let's just take
him?
the 2 things that I'm known for and then make it into a new thing that I own the copyright on.
Jeff, there are a couple of Star Trek Giantbomb Guild people online if you need help with anything. Seems like you're doing okay though.
Oh yeah, this is all still tutorial stuff.
Yeah.
So
I've never seen T.J. Hooker.
It's alright.
It's not terrible.
Cop show.
Yeah.
It's a funny, weird period for Shatner because it's like after Star Trek came back.
Oh.
Amazing hairpiece on Shatner.
Early 80s.
Yeah.
I guess.
Early to mid 80s.
Well,
yeah, they were making fun of it on SNL like '88. So
first
like
movie came out what, around
1980, I believe. 79, late '79, I think.
81,
was,
maybe.
Motion picture.
Yeah.
They were really booking out Star Trek movies too for most of the '80s.
Yeah.
82 through 85 was T.J. Hooker.
Okay.
Motion picture of '79.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Motion picture, oddly enough, was supposed to be the pilot for a second series.
Phase 2.
Star Trek Phase 2, and the younger captain on that in the movie was supposed to be the captain on the second wing of the.
The stuff that I've read about Phase 2 is fascinating because all that stuff was hinged on Paramount launching a new TV network.
Oh yeah.
And Phase 2 was going to be like one of their flagship, one of their anchored shows. And it's basically, it was like all the plans that eventually led to
UPN.
Like UPN.
Like 20 years later, almost 15 years later.
The WB and now ultimately CW.
Yeah.
Like all that network stuff began in the 70s. Bizarre. I'm glad that pleases you, Vinny. We'll figure out what the actual joke is at some point, but 3 Amigas.
Patrick, why did you continue to watch Prison Break after season 1?
Because I have a problem with not seeing narratives all the way to the end.
Really?
Oh man,
it's really bad though.
I don't have that problem at all.
My fiance.
Prison Break season 1 and 2 are fucking awesome. I will stand by the first 2 seasons of that show. I really liked the first 2 seasons. Then once you're 2 seasons in, it's like, all right.
Yeah.
The show's called Prison Break.
And especially I'm fascinated when they go off the rails and get really bad because it's like, when they have a chance to actually bring things to a close,
right.
I want to see what they do. I want to see how they do it. I find the finality of shows when they have a chance to do it to be really fascinating.
It's weird because British TV will just they'll just end a show like, okay, cool, we did what we want to do, and they'll just do it. But no, in America you need those 100 episodes to get to syndication.
Yep. So
they'll keep on pushing stuff. Like Alias went on too long. I would say
most shows go on.
Yeah,
I mean, look at The Office.
Yeah. Which I watched all the way to the end.
Which had honestly one bad season. It's like season 8 was grim. But
of The Office?
Yeah.
The Office was, even when it was bad, it was just inoffensive. And I was already watching that comedy block.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, I'll watch 20 minutes of that in between.
But they wrapped up well.
Wasn't James Spader's character's name like Dr. California?
It was,
yes.
That
was
Robert California.
That's a great name.
Those are rough arcs.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the series finale.
I feel like the last 3 episodes in that season, in the last season of The Office, like they brought it back together admirably. Yeah. Whereas 30 Rock, the last season was just fucking one of its best seasons.
Yeah, it was really
it was insane how good it was.
I still haven't seen that. It was only half a season.
It was 13 episodes.
13 episodes.
Yeah, they didn't go for full count, full 22 to 25.
Yeah, so.
God, I can't even imagine working with Tracy Morgan for half a year, 8 months.
Well, I saw him host the Billboard Awards the other night. And who is that guy? That guy's out of his mind.
Yeah,
his live show is apparently
he's
awful.
insane.
Just one of the worst shows you'll ever see reviewed. People pay $50 to go see him do stand up, and apparently he just does nothing but profane sex jokes like 2 hours straight. Not even like a narrative to it or jokes.
What do you expect?
Really.
What are you showing up expecting?
Yeah, it's because
he's not
trenchant insights
incarnated. It's not gonna.
He was made out to be funnier than he probably
style
is.
Presence, real understated.
Think piece.
Space skills.
Like what are space skills?
Like Starship attack patterns, like attack pattern Alpha, Beta, Delta, and Omega. Starship weapons training.
I like they just what are the ones that we can name off the top of our head?
Yeah. And then ground skills like grenades and weapon proficiency.
Ground skills are not space skills.
That's why they're down here on the ground.
Okay, that is a separate section from space skills.
The space skills,
ground skills. Got it. Okay, great. Important distinction.
Also spend skill points to improve your
my fiance has been I don't know what inspired her, but decided that she was going to watch the rest of Heroes.
Wow. I was gonna say.
Holy shit!
No, I pulled the plug on that.
I've seen some bad series through to the end, but Heroes is the only one I can think of that I just had to duck out.
When the circus stuff started in season 3.
I didn't even get that far.
We're in season 3 right now, and it seems like it will never end. I feel like it's just I keep looking at the episode listing. It's like, wait, there's still a 4th season. We're not in season 4 yet.
Is there a 4th season? Really?
Yeah, there's a 4th season.
Wow.
That show was amazing because it was one of the highest rated shows, and by the end it was just like the 80th.
That pilot is still unbelievably good. That first season, with the exception of how the season finale, that first season is great.
First season is really good. What was the benevolent scientist guy, Mohinder? Is that his name?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, thank you.
The arcs they put him through.
Right about the time when he started turning into a giant bug is when I decided that I had had enough.
But it's just so it's they're riffing on comic book superhero convention and stuff. So having some fluidity to allegiances and having people go face to heel and back and forth a lot. Okay, that's to a certain extent that's true to the kind of source material that they're trying to riff on in Heroes. But it happens so I'll not watch an episode and then she'll have one on and it'll be complete reconfiguration of okay, everyone that was good in the last episode is now evil, and half of those people are now allied with these other people. It's a
lot harder to buy in a live-action drama, having people work completely against their own motivations. A little bit hard to swallow.
This show's fucking nonsense.
What is the worst?
That's a nice font there, Vinny.
Worst,
I do.
Wow, yeah.
Blah. That's a very Blood Dragon font.
I'm trying to think what the worst show is that I have ever grudgingly watched all the way to the end. I want to say Entourage.
Are you saying that it started, is it a show that starts bad and remains bad? Whatever, Entourage was fun. Early season Entourage.
Yeah, exactly. The first 3 seasons of Entourage were fun, and then the last 3
I'm saying
so fucking bad.
Is there a show you've watched that is sort of garbage from the beginning and somehow you've managed to watch it to the end?
I'm saying it was good enough to watch it for early on, and then it went so bad, but somehow you stuck it out. I think that's the worst one I can think of.
I'll go back to...
There's always a kernel of any show. It's it starts off even if this is not great, there's something to this, but I have no problem with giving up on shows when they turn rotten.
Good question for Patrick though, from Mortface. What do you think is the worst season of Lost?
I've never rewatched the final season, knowing what the twist is in retrospect. I enjoyed that season as it played out. I don't know how it would play if you knew sort of how everything wraps up. I don't know if I have a season that's the worst as much as there's a stretch in season 3 that is just unbearable when the others have them captive and there's the bear cages and stuff like that. And then the moment that they negotiated that there will be 3 more seasons of the show, immediately the finale of season 3 is one of the best moments of television.
Is that the one where they blow up the thing in the big tube down on the ground? Is that before they go back in time?
The hatch? No, the hatch blows up.
No, there's a second little thing that the people are digging into the ground. They have to blow that up with.
That's way later.
Okay,
that's way later. But the turn that happens at the very end of season 3 with the nature of the flashbacks is one of the best moments in television.
I can buy this 22nd century Romulan belt.
What century are you in right now?
I don't know.
24th? 25th, right? Didn't it say it was 2401?
You might be right.
Just edged into the 25th century.
All right.
So I want to take this back to Star Trek talk here. Do you feel like Next Generation had as many seasons as it should have?
Should it have had more?
Yes. Do you think it should have had more?
I don't think so.
Show?
Next Generation.
I thought they ended up pretty well.
Because
7 seasons is usually what they want to aim for, the syndication stuff.
That last season is often regarded as being a bit uneven.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, but some of the stuff that people don't, like the episodes that people hate in that, like the genetic mutation episode, that people regard as being kind of corny and over the top.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy just watching all of the actors just ham it up.
Sure.
Apparently, a lot of TV shows, if they go on, it actually gets more expensive. You start losing money beyond a certain point, even if you're still like kind of profitable. You wind up. There's a sweet spot for syndication, and you make that number of episodes, then you just kind of stop. Unless you're like Seinfeld, where you're totally raking in ad money. But
or just your production costs constantly go up because you have to keep paying your actors more.
Yeah.
Everyone involved keeps requiring more money. Like I was reading all that stuff about state of Marvel movies and Avengers 2, and
you see
I don't know how they're going to make that fucking movie with like what the salary demands of a lot of the people involved are.
They'll figure it out. Did you see the stuff with Quicksilver today? The Quicksilver is going to be in Avengers 2 and in the new X-Men film.
Different
because that's what Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are one of the characters that Fox and Marvel both can show on screen.
Totally.
Quicksilver in the X-Men, the Fox film, cannot mention the Avengers, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in the Marvel version, cannot reference their origin story with Magneto.
Right.
So it's going to be
But there's going to be 2 different versions. That just sounds like they're being like there must be some aggressive behind the scenes like bullshit going on.
Sure.
Because why else would you be so hostile about it?
Yeah. Well, it's like Michael Keaton in Out of Sight and what was the other? He was in Jackie Brown too.
Jackie Brown, playing the same character.
Different studios, different directors.
But it was the same. I mean, they were both
same universe.
Both based on Elmore Leonard stories. So that one made sense for them. But that was the good outcome. This is the opposite of everyone claiming ownership of this character.
It was also probably Tarantino enjoying the kind of whimsical meta nature of having that actor brought back.
All right, you got me looking at the entire list of season 7 episodes now.
Oh,
yeah.
There's Jeff, what's going on?
This is the part where I've been a subscriber to this game for years and years, so I'm getting like you've been playing for 300 days. And like,
you just
now,
got
once you get
all
out
of
of
the
the
awards at
tutorial, it
once.
all just hits.
Awesome. Because I mean, there's that Next Gen Season 8 Twitter account with all of its ridiculous plot points for the imaginary 8th season.
My favorite one of those, the actual tweet states it more eloquently than this, but it's something to the effect of Picard and Riker must debate a sentient mountain while climbing it to prevent it from killing them.
So, on a weird note, I keep on getting linked to in the chat this story about Xbox Live getting hacked, and everybody's username has been exposed in some massive security breach. I'm trying to figure out if it's true or not, but maybe if you want to change your password on Xbox Live, it might be a good idea. This is all like
unless it happened in the last hour.
It was literally in the last hour. A lot of these stories
Just go
are kind
to
of popping up.
xbox.com.russia.rs/password and just type your Xbox Live username and password into there.
Again, all these, it's, a lot of people now saying it's fake.
I don't see.
No major websites are really reporting it. It's kind
That also just sounds like somebody just trying to spread
FUD.
Yeah, in light of everything that's been happening in the last 48 hours.
After that press conference,
I did just get a...
people are so whipped into a frenzy over that thing.
I haven't had one in a while, but I just got one of those BattleNet, like, hey, your account has been changed.
Did you try to change your password?
Go, log in here, and it's just like so apparent in the URL of just like that's like you start off with it's like Blizzard
Goggles.com.
It's like Blizzard-com, and then from there the rest of the address is so clear. Like this is some sneaky box in China.
There we go.
Sneaky China bots.
All right, now I'm reminded that season 7 had the episode where Data was having all the nightmares.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The Freud one, yeah.
Yeah, remember like Troy, like they made a Counselor Troy cake.
Yes.
With mint
and he had the
frosting.
knife.
Yep.
And he had Einstein talking to him.
That's where the phone comes out of.
Yes. Yes, they open his
Data's
chest up
chest.
and he has like an old-timey phone in there.
What was the season 2 bottle show that they had to do because they ran out of money? The Riker Dreams one where he's like getting... It's a clip show?
The season finale, it was a clip show. I don't know that it was a budget thing. I thought it was a writer's strike thing.
Pretty sure it was a budget thing. I went through a lot of Memory Alpha when I was writing at Screen, and I'm pretty sure they basically ran out of money.
You might be right. Maybe it's both. I'm not sure.
So your peptide cake...
With mint frosting.
Kybals wants to know who's the worst TNG character. I was really annoyed by the alien guy on Voyager. He was always one of the worst.
Neelix?
Neelix, yeah. But in terms of TNG characters...
everything in
Voyager.
Voyager's kind of annoying.
I knew a guy. I know a guy who lives in L.A. who dated Kess very briefly.
Wow. Did she want to get written off that show? Did she?
I know.
Quit or
I think
something?
she was. In fact, I think she was very unhappy that they wrote her off.
Oh,
the
I think
show.
they wrote her off to bring 7 on 9.
Yes, because they wanted
to
bring Jerry Ryan on because I don't think that show was doing all that well. Like they wanted
sexy board character.
I guess I liked Kess.
Wesley Crusher. A lot of people saying Wesley Crusher.
What I will say, like respect to Voyager, that they got home and the series ended.
Yeah.
It was like they laid it out at the beginning of like, all right, we've been stranded in weird space that we don't know about, so we're just trying to get back home.
Yeah.
They peppered in some good interaction with the Borg there at the end, and then got back to Earth. It's like, all right, you did it.
A couple of votes for Lakshmana Troy, which I can see. She was, what was her name? Majel Roddenberry?
Oh, Majel Roddenberry, yeah.
The character was always a little over the top.
Oh, you mean Troy's mother?
As far as the worst TNG characters, Pulaski.
Well, I was going to say, a lot of people hate Pulaski for some reason. I don't really get it.
It's kind of a crusty, Bones clone, but a female.
That's fine.
A lot of people
I feel like she is not a
Tasha
terrible...
Yar is the worst. I mean,
Tasha Yar is the worst character. I was going to say
Tasha Yar.
It's not really a conversation.
Tasha Yar kind of sucks.
She sucks a lot. She sucks all the way.
And then she died, and you were like, fucking...
Yeah. And that's supposed to be this big tragic, oh no, a major character died. Like, fucking great.
Well, and it's even worse because Denise Crosby had these, delusions of grandeur because she thought that...
Right, she's too good for Star Trek.
Yeah, she thought her career was going to explode after she bailed out of Star Trek, and then look what happened.
The classic, who's that guy on NYPD Blue who left? Michael something? The guy from CSI
Miami?
David Crusoe.
Oh, yeah, David Crusoe. But he somehow resurrected his own career.
Hot movies like Jade.
Yes, Jade.
Jade was specifically the movie that was like, all right, I'm leaving the stupid TV show because I'm going to make Jade.
Jade was the one where he was like, I'm going to become a movie star.
Their weapons are online. Wait, they're hailing us.
Then he had, 8 successful seasons on CSI Miami. So
a lot of people want to talk about Arrested Development coming back this Sunday.
Is it Sunday?
That is Sunday.
Jeez.
All of it at once.
I need to go watch all the original stuff.
15? Really? I thought it was only 12 or
15.
Wow, good lord.
It started and then they expanded, and I am slightly concerned over...
I did see that link you put out.
The report from Vulture that about half the season was shot on green screens with the actors not talking to one another due to scheduling.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
There's a good AV Club has a good interview with Jeffrey Tambor, who talks a little bit about the production style, and it sounds like they did a lot of like really insane, like scheduled shooting of like, all right, you're shooting a scene from like episode 4 right now, and then you're going to shoot another scene from episode 2, just so that they could get everyone. And it sounds like also the nature of the show is that they're going to have a lot of these episodes are going to be focused on a single character.
Yeah. I think there were only,
which
like
was
they had I think only 2 shooting days where the entire cast was together.
Jeez.
Like and the way it's structured is that like you can, they're not recommending you watch it in whatever order you want, but if you see like Job walking by, like you could jump to his episode and see what he's off to go do. Like that's the way
they're doing kind of like a little Rashomon. Everyone's, each character's perspective on some events.
Is the whole thing set during like a very short period of time?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to be a line producer on that show. That'd be taxing.
It's all the original cast. It's all the original creatives. Like I'll give them a certain benefit of the doubt that even if they're dealing with weird scheduling issues and certain budgetary constraints, because Netflix ain't Fox.
They'll jump
but
on
you
it,
watch
really.
House of Cards. They got just as much money to spend if they want to.
Yeah, House of Cards was apparently budgeted at like $150 million, and apparently got way higher than that too.
What?
Because what's his name? Who's the director? Fincher. Is apparently I heard that could cost up to $200 million.
Well, Fincher only directed the first 2.
Yeah, but he was producing the whole thing.
He produced the whole thing.
House of Cards was good.
That was pretty good.
I haven't finished it yet, but I was enjoying it.
Mitch Hurwitz did say that you should watch it in.
Yeah. I think he's only said that, like the way it's written is that you could follow it that way, but you should, if you want the jokes the way Arrested Development layers them. I'll say if nothing else, it's giving me a good excuse to go back and watch that series again. I don't think new things make old things bad.
No.
So, if there are just a couple, there will be good moments. People forget that like this back half of season 3 of Arrested Development, not that great. Like season 3 in general was a pretty bumpy ride.
The Little Britain stuff is bumpy.
It's got some good moments.
Yeah, but it's bumpy.
Season 3 has moments, but season 3 in general is not that great.
I liked the really self-referential stuff in season 3.
When they basically
towards the end
flicking
of that
off box, going like when they're doing the 3D gimmicks and
the real obvious acknowledgments that they're about to get canceled.
Hey Jeff.
Yeah.
What is this stuff floating around in space
Yeah,
here?
I'm really curious about that too.
We're around this, this station, and there's all these
Things.
all this
Are they
stuff. out
bucky
here.
balls? Like what's?
Yep.
Eugen wants to know. Go ahead, Jeff.
Cloaking.
Cloaking device.
That's all.
Eugen wants to know, are there any other cases of shows pulling a DS9 where it was not a sequel, it was a spin-off that went on to succeed and go on further than the show actually lasts?
Spin-offs all the time.
All right, spin-offs, yeah, but how many do actually last beyond the show that they created? Like, Private Practice is probably going to get canceled before Grey's Anatomy, I would assume.
Star Trek, our Law and Order SVU is the only Law and Order show on TV right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not going to outrun the original run of Law and Order because that was crazy. But
I didn't watch either of these, but that show Angel spun off from Buffy.
Yeah, it did.
Buffy
didn't
the
it?
Vampire
It
Slayer.
kept on going afterwards.
yeah.
There's a Simpsons spinoff?
There's a whole bunch.
Oh
of
yeah, true enough. Simpsons was a spinoff of Tracy Ullman. Huh. That was a long time
Frasier
ago.
was a spin-off from
Yeah,
Cheers.
Frasier is.
I think
spin-off of
Frasier
Cheers.
came out after Cheers ended, though.
It did, but it still counts as a spin-off. It's the same character.
I think he was going to try and do another show with this.
I mean, Jeffersons was a spin-off from All in the Family that went on for years.
There are a couple Stargate spinoffs, I think.
See here, Facts of Life was a spin-off from Different Strokes.
Different Worlds was a spin-off from Cosby Show.
Yeah, Different Worlds. But that's
Lord, man.
After MASH.
After MASH was a spin-off from MASH.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
After MASH?
Which was based on a movie.
It was. What's his name?
MASH.
Three's
was the
a
name of the movie.
Crowd. Spin-off Three's Company.
Yeah, and The Ropers.
And The Ropers.
Also a spin-off from
Wasn't
Three's
there a show
Company.
about Chrissy? Also,
a spin-off of Happy Days.
Yeah, it's Joni Loves Chachi.
Yeah.
And there's Joni Loves Chachi, there's Mork and Mindy, and Laverne and Shirley.
Okay.
Peter H. is reminding us that the last 4 episodes of Arrested Development were first aired back-to-back opposite the opening ceremonies of the Olympics.
Yeah,
that's how badly they want to kill
on
it.
my birthday, February 7th.
Is that how badly Fox wanted to kill that show?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember, I watched that on my birthday instead of watching the Olympics. Time better spent.
Jeff, you're getting shot at.
Yep.
A lot.
A lot of warbirds fighting other warbirds here out of here.
They're warbird.
Johnny Bombazini wants to know is MASH any good?
Yeah.
Only one of the most beloved TV shows ever aired in the United States.
Yeah, seriously.
MASH is great.
Pretty good.
I'd say don't watch it.
Jeff, ever the contrarian.
Patrick.
Well, I mean, I think
I'd imagine it would be totally unwatchable. Like it's super acclaimed, like for what it did in its day.
I watched a lot of MASH, but
I watched all my MASH was usually watched by accident.
But
because the Giants game was getting rained
I'm
out.
going to say it doesn't hold up.
no, I don't know that, you know, modern palates.
Damn kids don't understand MASH.
Also, like the war that it's like contextualized in, like just
No,
None of that matters.
rubbing up against that thing.
Somebody's mentioning the X-Files. Now, I remember Millennium being kind of a spin-off of that.
Yeah.
Did they ever get that?
Millennium is not a direct
It
spin-off.
was more like in the spirit
But
of
there was the Lone Gunman.
The Lone
Lone
Gunman
Gunman,
was a
which
spin-off.
like
Did that last 2 seasons or one?
No. It lasted. I never even really watched Lone Gunman, but it's also infamous for having basically the terrorist plot from September 11th as its pilot episode.
Right.
I think the same year as like in 2001.
Like inadvertently, or
Yeah, just completely coincidentally.
Well, the Coup, the band The Coup also had the World Trade Center blown up on their cover of one of their albums right before it happened, I think.
I never watched Millennium, but I always heard really good things about it. Like I'm
like
pretty sure it's
Millennium.
a show that I would, if I went back, that
It
I would
was a
really
good, very
enjoy.
somber kind of. Who's the guy? Frank. What's his name? The actor.
Frank Caliendo.
Yeah, Frank Caliendo.
It wasn't
Frank
Lance,
Adams.
wasn't
It was
Lance
Lance
Henriksen?
Henriksen,
Yeah,
yes it was.
Yeah, and he basically like was investigating cults and demons
Yeah.
and stuff, right? Like that sounds like a show that I would fucking
It
love.
was well done. It was very kind
It
of.
was okay.
quiet.
I seem to remember a fair amount of like Doomsday End of the World stuff in there.
Yeah, there was some overarching plot about trying to foil the end of the world, I think. But it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Patrick, I challenge you to go on Netflix and watch the entirety of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Okay.
What do you
Did
think?
you start with season 1?
So I'm
Have
sitting
you,
here.
have you just never watched much Next
Have you
Gen?
ever seen any
I
of
have
it?
not watched Star Trek.
Oh my god.
People have been asking me that in the chat, like,
I-
should I just skip season 1? I say no. I say if
I think it's worth it for the background.
Yeah.
Some parts of it will be a struggle to get through for sure.
Maybe just put it on in the background.
I would watch it. I mean, they start to develop and build up the characters a little bit, for sure. Although some of them changed a little bit in season 2, but season 2 is where it really kicks in.
I got
mean,
nothing against it. It's just not a thing I ever watched. when I was
The season
younger.
2 episode Measure of a Man won an Emmy. Like it's some of that stuff is really well written.
But those first 2 seasons, like production values.
Yeah, the production values are
takes
a
them
little
some
rough.
time to.
So what are the ones that they went back and like redone?
1 and 2 are out now. 3 should probably be out.
I don't know. I bought the
fairly-
first season.
Are
and,
those on Netflix or are those the original
No,
episodes?
unfortunately not yet.
it's still watchable.
Psycho Head does
watchable?
make a
Sure.
good point. If you don't watch the pilot, the finale of that series does not really make a lot of sense.
That's true. That's true.
So you have to watch at least the first episode.
There are callbacks to season 1 toward the end of the series.
That's done. I wonder if I can maybe. It just seems like if they have those like nicer versions out, maybe it's worth just like tracking down.
they're coming out
the
quick
Blu-rays.
enough. Also, I almost feel a little hypocritical about this because there are probably some episodes of that show I would probably never go back and watch again at this point.
I do. When
But the
I've
good
gone
ones
through
are
TNT,
so good.
Yeah, I will skip some of them. Definitely. All right, this poll better be unanimous.
What is the poll?
Wrecker, beardless.
Oh, come on. That's like,
Don't even ask that.
can't ask that question. That
Somebody
doesn't-
asked me, and I had to make a poll out of it.
You
It's
shouldn't
as
have
close to
made that
unanimous
poll.
as you'll get.
Just whatever, man.
Don't even dignify
it's a
that
tie.
question.
Because it's still Riker. Stop. Buying into some
Opinions on Cisco as
weird
captain.
agenda.
Cisco also grew the beard.
He did grow a beard. Maybe I'll do that poll next.
I think he shaved his
And shaved his head at the same time. Yep, he went from.
I like Deep Space Nine a lot. I never quite liked that actor as that captain. He seemed really bombastic, and I could either be annoyed or angry.
Or Avery Brooks?
Yeah,
He was really good in The Big Hit.
the big hit. I don't think I saw that.
Mark Wahlberg classic.
Yep.
Yes, I am in a ban. Everybody said beardless in that poll. Just so you guys know, they're all banned. Have you guys seen the Riker?
Jeff, remember the Tortellis
Sure.
Was that a spinoff of
from Cheers?
Oh, I thought the
Rhea
Tortellis were
Perlman's
from,
character.
Wow.
Yeah, they desperately tried to keep some cheers going.
That must not have
Well, that was
taken off.
87. That was like during the, like, you know, right there in the heat
I
of
guess it was,
Cheers.
wasn't
Thoughts on the idea of doing a Saul spin-off from Breaking Bad?
Don't
I've
do
heard
it.
that floated a lot.
Saul Goodman, sure.
Don't do it.
Don't do it, really? I think it could be
That
good
just,
as like a
that
half-hour
just sounds
comedy.
like a desperate play to
I think you
extend
could,
Breaking Bad.
I think you do it, but you just have to.
Say you're doing 2 seasons and finish it. Like, but
Yeah, maybe.
Well, no. I think you could do a Saul Goodman character spinoff. It's just the tone would be completely
Yeah,
different.
it has to be a comedy,
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
I do think, I will say this, I think Saul Goodman's set for his law office is one of the best sets
Oh,
I've ever
it's so
seen on
good.
TV.
yeah, it is.
It's really good. I still haven't seen that season 5 yet.
It's
You got time before.
Oh, I know,
It's
yeah.
not till like mid-August before it comes back.
People didn't act like they were totally blown away by it.
It's that show has its peak in the middle, but it's still really goddamn good.
Yeah.
Well, it's tough because they are. It feels like, you know, they are setting so much up. There's so much business still to be done before the end of this season that they're, you know, halfway through.
Sure.
Like each episode is, I feel, pretty significant at this point.
I think I'm pretty sure I read or heard that they weren't sure if they would get another season after 4. So they kind of wanted to go out with a bang at the end of 4 if that happened to be their last season. Is that?
But for
I don't
Breaking
think
Bad?
so.
Yeah.
Well, all the AMC shows, AMC makes their money off of the crappy reality TV stuff that they do. They spend a lot of money on Mad Men and Breaking Bad, but they don't, like, you look at the numbers, they get, like, you know, good cable numbers, but not anywhere near like Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Well, Walking Dead is also one that they cut the budget heavily on.
Well, Walking Dead's different because that's produced in-house.
Yeah, that's
by
owned
AMC.
by AMC.
Lionsgate does Mad Men,
and
Fox does Breaking Bad.
And they pay them a lot of money for
Like
Mad Men.
Fox, you know, like Fox passed on Breaking Bad, but Fox will still produce, you know, a show if it can go somewhere else.
Yeah, there's a lot of that weird, like,
which is a super strange part of TV that I don't quite understand.
Of like.
Why are you missing so much,
ABC
Jeff?
Pictures can produce a show, and ABC, the network, says, "No, we don't want to air this," and they can still wheel it over to NBC or someone else.
I think House was developed by like ABC, but it's aired on Fox and stuff like that. Somebody was asking if they think that BioWare will announce any Star Trek or Star Wars games. I think he said Star Trek, but I think he meant Star Wars.
EA said there will be Star Wars something at E3.
Wow.
It seems more likely. There are only 2 scenarios with that. It's that they picked up 1313 and somehow got that team to stay together, or there will be a Old Republic expansion.
Old Republic what?
Expansion of some kind. That is the only, like, there is no way they've had that long enough to have DICE create something, or Visceral, which are the 2 studios
they can't sell a boxed Old Republic expansion now that it's free to play. So
either way, you know, it'd be cool if 1313 survived.
I mean,
they picked that up.
I guess there's a chance that they could have greenlit something and gotten as far as a name, and like already just announce a name of something.
But
that
DICE
doesn't
is going to
exist
make a
yet.
Star Wars Battlefield game.
Well, you know, you totally say, hey, the next Battlefront is in development at DICE LA.
Sure.
How you doing, Jeff?
Doing okay. I think I may have unequipped my photon torpedoes.
That would be bad.
Plasma torpedoes.
Don't do that.
That was you. This.
Oh. He actually meant to ask, do you think BioWare will ever get a chance to make a Star Trek game? Sure, maybe.
Star Trek?
Yeah, I mean,
now that EA's got Star Wars, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, they already made their Star Trek game.
And let's all be honest here. What is BioWare?
Yeah. There's also that. Well, you know,
it's sort of like when the
studio in Edmonton still exists.
But like, you know, with all the rare buzz going around at Microsoft, like I guess it's hard for me to get too excited about that because it's right. Whatever the property is, like if you're saying, okay, Rare is making this game, like, but what is the people that made Rare? I don't know that that's there anymore.
I don't think BioWare has nearly as much turnover as you would think.
It's not as far gone as that, but I don't know.
A lot of the same people are still at BioWare.
Is different because of management and EA, not because of the people there that are known for the games you love. A lot of those people are still there.
Apparently, it's the 20th anniversary of Saved by the Bell.
Great.
A dire anniversary. I hated that show so much growing up. Just absolutely loathed it.
Same here. Well, that show was for girls.
Perhaps, yeah. It was very bad. But then again, most of my childhood television stuff that people loved, I really found to be insultingly lowbrow or just I don't know.
Trapper John MD.
You're just throwing out
that was
words
on for
now, right?
7 years. Good lord.
Oh man, Nick on Twitter says that the HD versions of Next Generation are on Hulu.
Okay.
Does that mean I need Hulu Plus, or is that on Hulu?
He doesn't say.
And if you're watching on your laptop,
that's not a distinction that matters.
I don't think that's a distinction that matters.
Right. I have my PC hooked
I think
up to my
Hulu Plus
TV
is
now.
just like device access.
Oh really?
Oh, is it? Okay.
So
Kind of like Spotify.
That was always my.
No, there are
impression.
some shows that are.
Are there some shows
Plus
that are
exclusive?
Hulu Plus?
I thought.
Okay, well, I don't use Hulu because Hulu sucks.
Isn't SNL on Yahoo now? Right? Didn't that just happen?
I don't know. Was SNL part of Tumblr? Was that a acquisition I was unfamiliar with?
I want to say SNL is now part. Not that I watch SNL, but I think that's also on. Which is weird because like NBC was like a founding member of Hulu, and yet now has sold SNL distribution rights to Yahoo. That's
What
weird.
is this interface here? Is that another person? Are you in space? Or are you?
Yeah, this is sector space. When
don't
you're
run
not
into that ship.
in systems near planets and stuff like that, you are
this
out
is-
here
wow.
in the astrometrics
Wait,
view.
this is sector space?
Oh, they made this look so much better.
Yeah,
This is kind of their version of warp speed.
Yeah.
This looks way better than it used to.
It's still pretty dumb.
Oh my God!
Can you
that was transwarp. That's guides.
Can you zoom way out? Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, this is.
I think it's more just like their skybox looks better.
Yeah, that's mostly But
I'll take it.
Why want to?
Oh, there's just a really great page of just a list of television spin-offs. And it's fun to be reminded of some of the shows that started off. Some of the shows you don't even realize were spin-offs.
hit me. I want my mind blown.
Let's see here.
I'm being told that Star Trek TNG is only one season free on Hulu. The others are all on Hulu Plus. But you can't get them on Amazon streaming as well, and I'm pretty sure Netflix still is.
Oh, I've
Netflix
got Amazon streaming.
Netflix has the whole series in like shitty old
Vanilla form.
resolution.
They've been updating the streaming with the HD versions as they come out.
On Netflix?
People saying Amazon Prime is doing the HD versions. I'm not
Really?
sure on Netflix.
Okay, I'll check Amazon.
Whatever. Yeah, I've got Amazon.
Again,
Tell me what's Justified.
Again, it may be tough early on.
Sure. Justified?
But
Do you ever see that?
I watched season 1 when it was on TV. Liked it, but
Season-
wasn't blown
season
away.
2
I know.
is
Yep. As soon as the premiere of season 2 is.
I think I like season 2. I like the new season pretty well. Season 3 felt a little off, but that show is still very entertaining.
Yeah, season 2. Like it's one of those shows that I had all season 2 get full on my DVR. Just never got around to watching it. They all got deleted and pushed off. But people kept telling me, watch season 2. It's a significant leap up, and the premiere of season 2 is just it's like a completely different show.
As an odd, I think his ex-wife is one of those attractive women on television. Just stunningly beautiful.
Yes.
What show?
Yes, Justified.
Justified?
Oh.
I think probably one of the most spun-off shows is All in the Family.
Really?
So, Maude from 72 to 78, Good Times from 74 to 79, The Jeffersons from 75 to 85.
Both of those?
So The Jeffersons actually outlasting, as far as total runtime, All in the Family.
Wow.
Checking In, Archie Bunker's Place, Gloria, and a show 704 Hauser, which came out in 1994.
Jeez.
Wow. All in the Family
That's-
ended in 79.
It's like 7 shows, 8 shows.
7 shows spun off from All in the Family.
Unbelievable.
Like Archie Bunker's Place was like posited at the time as being basically the replacement for All in the Family. Like it was after All in the Family ended, Archie Bunker's Place took up the spot, and that show ran for 4 years. Goddamn.
How popular
That's really
was that
weird.
show? Like, it
So
was
I'm
big.
being
All in
told
the
that-
Family?
Was it? I know it was big. I know it was big, but was it like big?
It was like
biggest,
culturally significant, and yeah, it was.
Was it like biggest show on TV? Huge.
71, 79. I don't know. It was very popular.
So
though.
I'm being told, oddly enough, that if you just go to StarTrek.com/videos, you can get pretty much every episode of Star Trek ever made is just right on there, thanks to CBS. But it
I
looks
always
like
forget that's
The TV show is it's a CBS property.
even the animated series.
Yep.
This game has CBS stuff like copyrights on it too.
Weird.
Like Paramount has that's the film studio of name for all the Star Trek stuff, but CBS TV still.
Well, does CBS own Paramount?
Yeah. Or like Paramount's part of Viacom or whatever.
But Viacom is not. Viacom was a spinoff from CBS that eventually bought CBS, but then resplit.
Yeah.
So at the moment,
we are not. But there's still the
like
Sumner
Sumner
Redstone
thing.
connection between the two. So Sumner Redstone owns stock in both, and perhaps even a controlling interest.
They all like part of the Redstone group or something like that.
No, Treadstone Group.
Okay.
so thanks to an error of not renaming the stream, we are now the most popular Dota 2 stream on
Awesome.
Twitch.
We might get moderated for that, but okay.
Sorry, guys.
Come at me, Twitch.
Sorry, Jared.
Show these Dota fans what a real video game's all about.
Push that lane out.
Any plans on playing Dragon's Dogma for Patrick?
Yeah, Dark Arisen the expansion. I'd like to. I've heard that the story gets even fucking crazier than the original game, which seems impossible.
I started it. I got about an hour or two into it, but I just haven't had time.
It's an interesting game. It has it does not have. It pretends to have the world of Skyrim without any of the enjoyment that you get out of world in an Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah.
But it has.
That sounds great.
It has really, really great combat, which is the weakest part of the Elder Scrolls games. You tolerate the combat in an Elder Scrolls game, certainly after you've exhausted like the mechanics very early on.
Sure.
Whereas Dragon's Dogma has like really deep, satisfying combat that continues to surprise as you continue to play.
Brad, to answer your All in the Family question, the show ran for 9 seasons, and for 5 of those 9, it was the #1 rated show on Nielsen. So it did okay.
What are you doing now, Jeff?
I'm flying over to this thing and I'm gonna blow it up.
All right.
Gotta defeat the Star Trek 3 enemies.
Star Trek.
What are you going to do after that?
Then they're gonna click through some dialogue probably.
You gonna blow up that dialogue?
Yep. These fights are going a lot faster now that I've re-equipped plasma torpedoes. Yeah, so I mean, there's an element of like you have to kind of come about, like your weapons have firing arcs and stuff, so I have to be sort of facing them to get these torpedoes off.
Right.
So it gives you that idea, that kind of, that ship combat of you kind of want to get your side pointed at them, because then it's within the range of both your fore and your aft firing arcs.
And then you do have these 4 different shield quadrants. So you gotta
kind of manage those and keep the strongest quadrant pointed at your enemies. And
any like kind of fundamental difference of the space combat fighting as Romulan versus the Federation stuff?
It's totally the same. Like even most of the abilities and stuff are like seem pretty.
Dude, no,
much
the
same.
beams are green now.
No. Jeff, you have any...
This is the Xbox.
Yeah.
Romulans are the Xbox of the Star Trek universe.
Yeah.
Or the Warlocks, really. Sorry. Jeff, any opinions on the new 360 controller, or the Xbox One controller, should I say?
Yeah.
You get your hands on that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. It's
Some people seem to be baffled, but I didn't see too many dire changes.
No, it's it's pretty much the same. Like it seems fine. The D-pad's better. They've got rumble in the triggers. They got basically 2 rumble motors that are there. So they had demos that they had us try that.
But you said like just the feel of the buttons and the sticks and everything was good.
Yeah, the sticks are a little bit smaller and a little bit looser.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit, not like DualShock loose, but the way they made it sound is because the way they made them smaller, like they wanted a little less force to move them around.
Okay.
And that's why they did it. I don't know. It felt pretty much fine. That said, I didn't actually use them to play a video game. So
the D-pad from the shots I saw looked like it had almost like a scooped out design, like it dips.
Mm-hmm.
Did that feel all right?
Yeah, it feels all right. It's very clicky. Like I don't know. Like it seems like the sort of thing that if you were using it for long periods of time, it might hurt. Because the throw, like it didn't push in very deeply when you were rocking it around, and it kind of clicks. Like it's a very kind of physical kind of.
Would it work for fighting games?
It would work for a fighting game better than any other D-pad they have put out, but I'm not going to say that it's the ideal D-pad or anything.
Did you say you like it even better than the transforming?
Yeah.
I was really surprised to see they had just a straight up like cross style D-pad.
Yeah,
and then I found out when I was on the Tested podcast this morning that Nintendo's patent on that style of D-pad has expired.
Yeah.
So,
oh really?
So anybody can do it now. Expired in 2005 actually. So, cross-shaped D-pads for all.
The bumpers feel fine. Like they feel a little bit different, but using them seemed pretty similar. Like the guide button, they've moved it up top, so out of the way, harder to hit in the middle of a game.
That's good. Are the buttons curved, or are they flat now?
So, I was mostly using a prototype controller that had old buttons in it, but I did mess around with something that they said was closer to what the final design is going to be, or was the final design, and they also felt pretty much the same.
I remember the first Xbox had the fat controller had those weird kind of triangular buttons that actually dug into my thumbs after long enough playing. It was very unpleasant.
I'm sorry, the original Xbox?
Yes, the black controller.
Oh, the Duke.
Yeah,
the Duke.
It was actually
they were oblong.
Yeah, like an egg shape almost, and they really got painful after a while.
They were terrible. That was a terrible controller.
What was the second one called? They called it an S?
The S.
It was the S.
Yeah.
The
that
Slim
one was okay.
I mean, that's the basis for the 360 controller, basically. Like without it still had the black and white buttons instead of the bumpers up top. But
vast improvement over the Duke, though.
You trying any new Kinect stuff? Apparently, a lot of people says it was improved. I know they didn't say anything about space. Like I live in a studio apartment.
No, they did say that it's basically a tall person can be 3 to 4 feet closer. Is kind of what they're saying. It's got a wider angle lens on it. Can track 6 skeletons. Though once you got 6 people in front of it, a few of them just started wigging the fuck out.
You said like 4 of the 6 when you were there were looking okay.
Yeah.
2 of them were freaking out.
They track thumb and tip of the hand. They don't track fingers individually, but you can still. So that's how they're gonna use motions like the idea of like pulling things to open them on the dashboard. Like you'll have like a pinch to zoom equivalent with some of that stuff. I don't know how well it works. Like they weren't running a game on it, so it wasn't really tracking. But they're doing all kinds of weird stuff. Like they can detect if you're smiling or frowning, if you're engaged, meaning if you're looking at the TV or not. And they say they're going to use that, so if you're not looking at the TV and you issue Kinect commands, it won't register. It'll detect if you're looking over.
Oh, okay. I see.
And then there's also the IR.
Yeah,
in the controller.
There's IR emitters in the controller, so they'll be able to match up your face and which controller you're holding to know which side of the screen you should be on for split screen or stuff like that, which sounds sort of interesting, but also really weird. Also, like really superfluous. Like these are not huge problems, but maybe that'll be convenient. I don't really know.
Did you see the reports going around? Pretty funny of people that were watching the press conference on their Xbox 360. They had their Kinect hooked up, and every time they were demonstrating the Kinect features, it would turn off. Be like Xbox, whatever, and then like the Kinect would freak out.
Say Xbox off.
So, there are, I've heard plenty of reports of people having trouble with like Netflix and things like that where it can interrupt, the Kinect picks that up and does dumb things. So maybe that's a way of avoiding that if it knows that you're not trying to make a command. But I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
That it screwed up their own press conference.
And keep in mind that the Kinect they showed no longer motorized. Like that is now just a still thing. So
it does not bow.
I feel like that speaks a lot to how much wider of an angle lens they're dealing with here.
Yeah. Also, they're going to be able to detect your heart rate via minuscule changes in your complexion. I guess everyone's faces
micro changes in air density.
Slightly redder as their heart beats. So they showed that using one of the guys stood in front of it and he said it was reading his pulse, and it showed a little indicator.
So he started masturbating furiously, and his pulse went up.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be cool for horror games.
Yeah, yes, there's probably some in-game use for that that could be really neat.
You know what I've started wondering is how the stuff they talked about where it would identify your face and sign you in automatically. If they're going to take that face data and push it up to their servers, and then just like any Xbox from then on that you walk up to in the world, like they can hit that database and just sign you into your profile there. Or if that's going to live locally on your...
I mean, that's not reliable enough.
Maybe not.
You couldn't do that.
Yeah, that's...
You couldn't. I wouldn't want it to do that on any system that I had not already
authorized.
Like gone up and said,
probably
"Hey, I'm on this," because then it's just I'll take a picture of Patrick's face.
That came up on the Tested podcast. Is this going to be like the QR codes of the next generation of consoles, like printing out people's faces?
It's just not reliable enough data for them
to
have that be like a security point. Because forget malicious. Like, imagine just on accident, I sit down and it says, "Oh, you're someone else."
Right.
A lot of people asking about how this. I don't know if you saw any of this at the press event, but Kinect. Apparently, the old Kinect had problems with people of a darker complexion, and if Microsoft has worked,
it's got IR in it, so they actually showed it working in a dark room, so it doesn't seem to care about color at all.
Cool. So it's not like bright lights on your face have to be okay.
And the assumption is that the depth is also 1080, just like the camera now.
Yeah.
Because like if you remember, the depth on the old one was just that real scattered field of dots everywhere.
Yeah.
Like that was super low resolution depth sensing.
But there was that like really humorous story of the original Xbox or original Kinect. After that, the funky event they had, the Cirque du Soleil. Then they had the night event where there's like, hey, come see the original tech demos, and Guy Kroll, then a Newsweek journalist, and Black went over there and went to see a demo of it, and like created this really awkward moment. It wasn't his fault. He is who he is. But like the Kinect could not recognize him. And I remember him writing a story about that, and it was a totally valid, thing to point out. And obviously, it was early tech, but. Yeah, I imagine that must have been incredibly awkward for the person assigned to that demo. Like, what? You probably aren't even at that point trained to like give an explanation for that.
I imagine a lot of like, oh, that's weird.
This isn't final hardware here, so
let me go get someone.
Yeah.
Let me go find out what I'm supposed to say.
Oh God, everything blew up.
What did you think about the design of the consoles as a whole? Looked better in person than pictures? A lot of people thought it looked kind of clunky in Betamax.
I mean, it definitely has like almost a deliberately old kind of style to it. Like
everyone keeps throwing around this VCR thing like it's bad.
I was gonna say clunky and Betamax sounds like positives.
Like these are
like it's got big old grates, big vents on it and stuff, and it is a big box. It's flat on top, so you can put your PS4 right there on top of it.
I really like that. I really like that it is
and have the whole thing overheat, I'm sure, but
I like that it is a flat rectangular box.
No, I mean actually the indications are that thing is going to run way cooler than the PS4.
Oh yeah.
Well, a lot of people talking about how it also has apparently less power too.
Yep.
Apparently could be significantly less powerful.
The only reason that they would sit there and tell you about how many transistors are in it instead of actual real numbers.
Well, that AMD Jaguar is really good about power gating when it's idle. Like it can drop its power consumption to like very, very little. And the DDR3 they're putting in that thing also uses a lot less power than the PS4 memory. So
and
they seemed very adamant about it. Like, oh, it's got multiple power states. That was usually they would talk about that in relation to the Wake on Voice stuff, where it'll just enter a super low power mode, but it'll still be listening for you to say, hey, turn on.
Well, if they intend for you to run your live TV through that thing, then they essentially intend for you to have it on, if not 24 hours a day, then at least any time you're in the living room.
And also suspending games and stuff like that, it seems like it's probably going to have some kind of power draw.
You're literally not going to be able to watch TV without the thing on. So it's going to have to be able to stay on for really long periods of time.
I would hope that if it is turned off, it just does TV pass-through. If it doesn't do that, they're fucking up.
But I want to use the Xbox interface for all of my navigation on my TV anyway.
If you have it,
but I'm saying, like, if you want to use it sometimes and not others, like, is that thing going to have support for DVR controls? Or am I going to switch to TV and then grab my other remote?
The big question.
Like, it deliberately is not a DVR. They've said specifically the Xbox will not do DVR
But can I control my existing DVR through it?
Right.
If you can't, then...
Yeah, who the fuck watches live TV?
If I can't do the
except
DVR
for sports,
stuff...
like, that's the only thing, right?
Just throw it on.
A lot of people still DVR stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Also.
Like it's.
Well, I'm just like, I want the if I can't access DVR or on-demand stuff, which are two significant features of my cable service, then yeah.
Then I'm just not going to bother with it.
That's yeah, exactly.
Did you guys see that game DVR feature that they've got on there? Mm-hmm. Did they mention that during the press conference?
Yeah, they showed like, hey, you can
8 seconds of it. Like, hey, you can do stuff. I don't know.
Record clips and upload them to a thing.
Okay, but they went into no detail.
Microsoft SkyDrive.
No, they
You've got one of those, right?
Again, it seemed like we're very deliberate about not making a big deal about anything that Sony did make a big deal about.
Sure.
Like, yeah, we have that. Whatever. Yep. Yeah, we can turn on real fast. Whatever.
Why are you being so loud?
Whatever.
A lot of Xbox One questions. I don't know if I can get to all these. A lot of people asking like, what are identical twins going to do? Edge case. I don't think Microsoft really. Hey, if you have to sign in as an identical twin with somebody on the same console, you can just pick up a controller. Probably.
It's time for one of you to grow a beard.
Yeah.
I mean, it also said it's going to identify by
beard.
voice too. Maybe.
Well, identical twins are subhuman, so that they should be treated as such by the.
Don't
Xbox
forget
One.
one of my favorite TNG episodes, the two Rikers, where the Riker, the clone Riker gets created in a transport
accident. For Patrick. Now I don't want to talk about any episodes.
Thomas Riker's the real
Thomas Riker. That is a fantastic episode. That's a really good one.
Forget.
He's still in love with Troy, even though they've been broken up for years.
But he doesn't know that.
He doesn't. Trapped in a TNG. Every one of those series has their own little weird technological stuff. The new movies have the transwarp teleporting. That show always had the trapped in the transporter buffer. That's how they got Scotty on there.
Oh, the Scotty episode's so good.
Also, the non-compatibility with 360 controllers. Dumb or needed? I'm saying probably kind of dumb.
I think with
they say they're going for lower latency and stuff and higher data through the controller port.
They're making a pretty deliberate break from the 360. Like, no backwards compatibility. Like, once you have the no backwards compatibility, then I kind of don't care about the rest.
Yeah.
If it's not going to be backwards compatible, well, then I don't expect any of that stuff to carry over.
Controllers, though, they're upmarket. Those controllers cost like what, $15, $20 to make. They sell them for $60 probably.
I get why it might be happening. It doesn't make it any less fucked up.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be spending
fucking platform where that's have there been a lot of platforms where that's the standard?
I'm saying
like,
as a precedent that video games in general do it. It's really dumb.
It's not to say there aren't improvements to it though.
I don't know if any of the improvements they're listing are enough that, like, I've never played a 360 game and gone, man, I really wish this had less latency.
Yeah, I mean,
you're right.
I'm just saying those are all really convenient excuses to make you spend $300 if you want to have 4 controllers again.
But if they didn't do that, then you'd be stuck with the same shitty quality of voice chat for the next 5 to 8 years.
Fortunately, I don't play multiplayer games. I mean, yeah.
It's the classic Apple strategy of forcing you to buy new shit because it's better. Like you can't. You have to call it like it is on that one. Like everybody bitched when the Lightning cable came out, but there are clear benefits to it.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Except that the overcharging is not excused.
Well, I mean,
the Lightning cable.
Somebody needs to do a teardown of that controller and prove that it costs $15 to make. I don't know where Rory got that figure from.
What do you mean, the 360?
Oh, the new one.
No, the 360 controller does not cost what they...
Probably not.
Those hard drives,
Sure.
Yeah, they made a killing on accessories.
Yeah, which is why they would break compatibility on a whim, even if they weren't
doing
things. But
and they made a killing on the wireless technology. That's the whole reason the Rock Band 1 drums were wired, because Harmonix didn't want to pay the licensing fee for their unique wireless tech. Unique.
Trigger the burst. Oh god.
Oh shit.
What?
Defeat mysterious ship.
Whoa.
What is that?
Mysterious ship.
It's a space cage.
I like that term a lot.
Man, I don't know what just happened, but it was awesome.
Yeah, this game has like user-created missions and stuff now. Like people have written all kinds of weird comedy missions.
I heard those were okay actually.
There's some neat stuff in this game.
Neverwinter does that too. The problem was that a lot of people were creating missions where enemies would be trapped behind cages and shit and couldn't get to you, so they just run in and murder a bunch of enemies and get really quick leveling. So they're trying to work on that stuff.
Yeah, I think this game just doesn't like you probably don't earn XP at the same rate or something like that. I'm not sure exactly how they handle it, but it didn't seem that out of control. Well, that thing teleported over here. Shields are down. Oh god. Oh.
It's a USS Mysterious Ship. It's actually the formal name. I'm trying to think if I recognize that. The way that ship is. Like, you know the race of this ship, or?
No, it is just a mysterious ship.
Are these other player ships that are helping you out?
No, probably not. It will auto-group you with people when you're going into systems and starting episodes and stuff.
Oh, is that another mysterious ship?
No, it is teleporting around.
Oh, okay. It's crazy.
That's mysterious.
I'm gonna say like half of your bridge is on fire, and your con officer has a piece of shrapnel embedded in his forehead.
No, my shields are holding, man.
Yeah, but every time
I feel like the bridge is the first thing to go, though.
And also, every time the Enterprise takes a hit, even when the shields hold, people still go flying and shit blows up.
Still get sparks on the bridge.
Yep.
One thing
that is the most poorly protected bridge
I know.
Anywhere.
But you know it's actually literally on the top of the saucer.
Yeah.
That seems like a kind of a bad place for it.
I thought it was on the bottom of the saucer.
No, it's on the top. It's like a
One of my
little
least
dome.
favorite things about Star Trek has always been that phasers can miss. Like, you have these supercomputers in the future. Everybody's moving at, like, not super high speeds, but yet they still miss constantly.
Probably
with
moving
phasers.
pretty fast.
Still, but you have supercomputers, you should be able to hit stuff.
If you can calculate,
you're probably right
warp
about that.
speed trajectory through fucking space.
There's an anomaly.
That's how I know it's Star Trek.
There's an anomaly. You're crafting stuff, and sometimes you'll get into systems and
I think the
scan for
anomaly is that the
anomalies.
sun is shaped like a hexagon.
We're gonna go out there.
There are two anomalies. I like a good anomaly. Hey, Vinny, how you doing? Is it hot in there?
Is it time to free Vinny from his space cage?
Vinny, is it cool if we go and check out these anomalies and then maybe call it a day? Sure. All right.
You want to see those uniforms real quick, too?
Oh, yeah. How far are you from this anomaly?
I don't know. It's space.
Actually, I just want to see the uniforms.
Apparently, a community manager from Star Trek Online is tweeting me, asking to give away free stuff to our audience. Always appreciated. I'll see if I can figure out how to do that. So if anybody in the chat is looking forward to getting some stuff for Star Trek Online, hopefully I'll figure out how to do that. Always nice to see people paying attention.
You don't see enough joyriding in Star Trek.
Are you riding dirty?
Always. It's a Romulan ship.
Cargo hold full of Romulan ale.
Yeah.
None
PCP.
None of that pansy synthahol.
Gold press latinum.
Ugh, synthahol. It's even the point.
I know. I still never quite understood the point, or like how synthahol works, or what it is.
Anomaly out here.
That's totally an anomaly.
Is that a lion?
Anomalous energy reading.
Oh, it's a lion, right? I see its tail flapping around. Oh.
No, that's...
Isn't the way alcohol works in the Star Trek universe that you can get drunk but you don't have a hangover?
That's sort of.
synthahol.
It's more like it has the social aspects of drinking, but
Oh
not
god,
the
that's right. There's mini games.
Oh, you don't even get drunk?
I think I don't know. I forget.
You sort of do, I think.
Wave form didn't match.
They never
Well, I
fully
still got
explain what it is,
Still got something.
or how it works, but
Yeah, it's like... you don't get drunk,
yeah.
or it has some effect, but you don't get, like, crazy out of control drunk.
Yeah. Something like that.
Boring.
Yeah.
But then there's the Scotty episode where he's like tearing the ship apart, looking for some real liquor.
I have new orders.
Wherever there's the
Is it banned?
There's
No,
the,
it's not.
There's
It's
the
just-
episode where there's the Irish settlement that ends up hanging out in the cargo hold on the Enterprise.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, the synthahol that the
replicator.
food replicator's making
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
And then Worf comes up and says, here's some Klingon fucking hooch.
Right.
And gives it to them, and they're like, all right, that's
the real shit.
That'll do. Space Irish.
All right. Back in proper spaceship. I'm gonna transwarp back to space dock, I guess.
Synthahol is a chemical variant of alcohol. It appears to have the same taste and smell as real alcohol to most individuals, but none of the deleterious effects associated with alcohol for most humanoids, such as debilitating intoxication, addiction, and alcohol poisoning. Most humanoids have an enzyme which breaks down the alcohol-like compound in synthahol.
Can you show us the bridge of a ramen ship?
Still doesn't clarify if you...
According to data,
Too late.
synthahol's
sorry.
intoxicating effects can be easily dismissed.
Easily dismissed, that's right. I read that, but like, what does that mean? Like, you just decide you're not drunk all of a sudden?
It's easy to shake off a synthahol drunk.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty all right.
I guess so, yeah. Like, I guess I would be into that. I don't know. It's not good enough for Scotty.
What are you doing over there, Vinny?
Hey,
You want to come show off your new toy?
What the hell?
What the hell?
oh, okay, that's what you're doing. Got it.
I'm still not...
Over there.
Oh. Wait.
Jeff, we're going to go get our uniforms on here.
Let's see if I can remember how to where that stuff is.
Yeah, I remember these hallways being mad confusing.
You're Spider-Man?
Yep.
I'm wearing armor, so
Spider-Man armor.
kind of
Yep.
change your look.
Oh my god, she walked right through you.
Simon officer.
You have a transwarp status to yourself.
No, they're all holograms.
Exchange, bank,
All of Star Trek Online actually takes place on a holodeck.
sick bay.
That bay's pretty sick. Woo. Combat rolls. Kirk style. So what I would want all the hand-to-hand combat in this game to be is just fucking combat rolls and double axe handles.
Yep.
I believe there is a double axe handle.
Oh, I hope so.
So,
If there's not, this is not a Star Trek game.
go and fight a Gorn somewhere.
If you play Federation, don't you start like in the middle of a giant Borg attack?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's still in there.
Yo, that guy's big.
Your old Klingon. Requisitions? Maybe it's requisitions.
Hi, Vinny.
Hi, Vinny.
Give us a tour of the control room. There's some screens. There's another screen that you can see all of the inputs, including the one that is being shown.
This is totally different.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to find where the
uniform
stuff
Oh,
is.
somebody told me that. Taylor is in the lower left quadrant of the base.
Okay. That's all right. That's
Oh,
fine.
this reminds me of the Star Wars Old Republic fleet ships that are always these huge kind of quadrant thing. Very large.
Oh, I remember when I thought I might get into the Old Republic.
I heard nothing but negative.
I gave this
like
a shot. I gave that a shot.
Yeah, just didn't do it. I kind of had my one torrid fling with an MMO with World of Warcraft. I think that was kind of it.
Anybody play Bridge Commander?
No, but after the podcast, some people were telling me that we should.
It's been a long time.
I think you got to strip your armor off before
Yeah,
they'll
I think
start
you're right.
You
showing.
can do
Find
that.
items, there
Yeah,
we
there you go.
You get kind of, you know, padded gloves, you get your different... I could buy this Deep Space Nine bundle to get this sick belt. Enterprise Mirror Universe.
Wait a minute, are you saying there are things that your $300 subscription does not get you?
Yep.
Wow.
But they get, well, so they give you a stipend of currency fairly regularly that I could actually use to buy all this stuff.
Okay. In perpetuity?
Oh, you have 9,000.
Yeah, I have 9,000.
So you could buy that.
Like that never stops?
I believe it just is a monthly, like, hey, you get some more.
Monthly allowance?
So this is awesome because they've got like the sources for each of these individual parts, and you can just throw that shit together. Like they've got
All
Wrath
good
of
things,
Khan
wow.
parts, Enterprise, motion picture,
racing uniform.
Yeah.
Look at those sick pants.
This is like track. That's it. You're just rocking tracksuit in space.
I don't remember there being a track race in All Good Things. Maybe there was though. It's been a long time. Since
Like a horse race?
It said track racing pants from All Good Things. Like
racetrack.
Yeah,
track pants. No, there's. I don't think.
No, there's an All Good Things set of outfits, which is this one.
Weird.
But then you got your Deep Space Nine stuff, Enterprise Mirror Universe, motion picture.
Yep, that's the motion picture.
Starfleet Academy. Original series Mirror Universe.
Wait, the Next Generation
film.
Weird.
Get your season 1s.
Ugh.
Original series.
Wrath of Khan Open. Wait, go back into Wrath of Khan Open. Yeah. Wrath of Khan uniforms are fantastic.
Fresh ass tunic.
Yep. Low cut V-neck.
I can rock it Geordie style if I want over here. Something about racing uniform seems really cool though.
This does seem like the most fun to be had in this game.
Yeah. Playing Starfleet dress up.
You set your how many rank pips you got.
Oh, and then can you set your badge to different...
Yeah, did they let you pick your your communicator?
Oh, look at that.
So I got my lifetime comm badge.
Which is garish and stupid looking.
That thing is huge. That thing is huge.
Well, you gotta let people know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I've spent some money on this fucking thing.
Enterprise Mirror Universe. Original series dress uniforms. Yeah, this is great. That's great.
Yeah, and then obviously you can change the color of everything and
an appealing level of detail here.
And you know, you just got to spend actual money to get it. But you know, the game's free to play now, I guess. So I guess that
you got to put your money somewhere.
That's right.
Cool.
I already put my money somewhere though.
Well, Jeff, thanks for taking us back into Star Trek Online.
Yep.
I think that's going to do it for our show. Vinny, what's this? Who's shaving? Let's go out on our shaver then. Thanks to Vinny and Ian holding down the control room, and Matt Roy for being our chat moderator and font of Star Trek information. Patrick, I encourage you to go forward on this Star Trek quest. I'm eager to hear. I'm eager to hear what you think of Next Gen.
Go Bears.
So,
steampunk Star Trek.
And yeah, that guy's some sort of android, I'm going to say. Excellent. That's it for TNT. We'll be back tomorrow with Unprofessional Fridays for members only. So come back if you're a member and join us then. 3:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. We'll see you guys then. Spin, robot, spin!
Spinning, sir.
Oh no. Looks like that one guy from Lost. Shaving.